fucking Tuesday, man. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the Super Bowl. I am going to take a minute, though, and I am going to give a huge shout-out, a huge thank you, guys, to all the new listeners across the globe and across the country. For real. Not even fucking around. We're back in Germany again. We got new listeners in Hungary. Let me pull up the list here of the new listeners in... Let's see. We popped in Pennsylvania again. We're riding pretty hard in Virginia. We finally popped in Iowa. That was a weird place for us to not be doing well, being that it's so close to us. But hey, we're doing well now. Yeah, let me read this list real quick here because this is actually kind of amazing. It's taking me just a second to get it here. It's not like I can just print this out. So I'm going to read just real quick here the list across the globe. So obviously America here. We're in India, Germany, Russia, Canada, Ecuador, Italy, South Korea, and the Philippines. Yes, the Philippines. And Hungary is the new one to be added to that list. And then in the country here, California, thank you guys for listening out there. Apparently that's not my boy Patrick. I thought that was just my boy Patrick downloading my episodes on a bunch of different platforms to support. But I talked to him, and he's like, no, I've never once downloaded your podcast on any of the audio stuff. He goes, I listen on YouTube. So I thought that was pretty cool. So whoever's listening out in California, thank you guys. I appreciate the love. Seriously, really, really fucking cool of you guys. Nevada, Idaho, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, South Dakota. Obviously, I mentioned Iowa already. Home state, Minnesota. We got some people out in Scotty, Illinois, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, fucking Virginia, man. North Carolina, that's where my wife lives. Tennessee. Fucking just been a wild ride, man. Ontario, Canada, right above us. It's just been cool, man. I just want to say thank you guys. Really, for real, from the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart. Sincerely, I really appreciate it, you guys. We're almost to 200 subscribers on YouTube. I have no idea how to even track stats on the audio platforms because there's so many of them. My hosting site gives me some data, which is what I just read to you guys. But I just appreciate it nonetheless, you guys. You guys are really great. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by, you guessed it, Shooter Lube. Join the revolution and go to shooterlube.com and save 10% at checkout with the discount code SINGER. They do have free shipping when you spend over $35. Okay, but that is only in America. But they do offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee, free shipping like I just mentioned, and online support. So if you're confused, if you're frustrated, reach out. They love to help. Okay, if you're curious about what the hell this is, it's gun cleaning products. It's a 2-stage cleaning system. Stage 1 is the military-grade cleaning solvent. The new technology has you cleaning your gun better than ever, you guys. The solvent is designed to penetrate deep into the metal, and it cleans carbon buildup in less time than other leading solvents. You can feel good knowing you're using your firearm with a product. You're using a product on your firearm that passed military testing, whatever the hell that means. Shooter Lube military grade weapon solvent is simply the best. It's odorless, no water, fully evaporates, leaves no residue. No hazard ingredients per the EPA. High flash point, non-corrosive, does not freeze. It's non-flammable. Okay. That's just stage 1, though. Stage 2, it's the extreme weapons oil. Standard lubricants and CLPs, those things are outdated and they're a thing of the past, you guys. Fuck off with that old shit. The extreme weapons oil, this shit's different. With the cutting-edge technology, these guys are creating a new level of gun lubricant and protection that nobody else is really fucking with right now. The extreme weapons oil penetrates deep into the pores of the metal. It forms a bond on and in the metal that doesn't wipe off, wear off, evaporate with heavy use, or any of that other bullshit. You can feel confident knowing that your weapon is being taken care of to its fullest potential. It's biodegradable, non-flammable, non-toxic, 100% synthetic. I finally learned how to say that word. Low odor, non-staining. It has rust and corrosion, offers rust and corrosion protection. Now I can't say that one. And it reduces wear and friction. So go to shooterlube.com, join the revolution, and save 10% out checkout with the discount code SINGER. All right, now my guest for today is the lead singer of Duratio. His name is Shawn Pohjola. People call him Pojo. His last name's Pohjola. A lot of people seem to think it's Pohjola. I did too. Don't feel bad. But it's Pohjola. My man goes by Pojo. And yeah, he's one of the 2 lead singers for Minneapolis-based band Doratio, with former members from Black Flood Diesel and some other bands I can't remember. I apologize, guys. Don't get mad at me. There's just too much to remember. I can't handle the responsibility. But nonetheless, he's coming back. He's been on the podcast before. If you guys want to get to know more of his backstory, you can always go back and check that episode out. I believe he's somewhere episode 25 to 35, I think. I don't know, but it's on the YouTube page. It's wherever you're listening to this, it's on the list. Nonetheless, he's a fucking cool dude. He's a smart dude, very interesting cat. Really kind of started as a musician, built a scene up in Duluth, Minnesota, came down to Minneapolis, did pretty well, and then just stopped, focused on building his own business. The guy's like fucking stupid successful now in his actual real life business, and now he's kind of bored with that. So he's like, I think now that I have some money, I think I'm going to actually get back into the music thing. Talented dude, great band. I can't play it for you, but I did get to check out a snippet of them before the podcast. And I like it. I'm really into it. And I have high standards. So please welcome to the podcast. I'm super pumped for this one. I hope you guys enjoy it. Shawn Pohjola. There. Calm down. Nope. On that one. We're gonna be on this one. There we go. There we go.
Are we rocking?
Yeah, I accidentally went to a different thing, but I also figured out why, while this was playing, I finally figured out why the intro track's not playing. So I gotta just do that because I will forget. Let me do this. Boom, boom, boom. Here it is. Title screen. It's the intro track right there is muted, which I'm not going to be able to switch to right now. So fuck it. But I got to remember that somehow, some way, some stupid reason I muted my intro track. So sorry, guys. That's why you're not hearing the music anymore. But Shawn, thank you for doing this, man.
Yep, no problem.
Appreciate you being back, buddy.
No problem.
So what you been up to lately, man? I kind of fucking caught you up on what I've been doing.
Work, just doing a little bit of work.
Remind people what you do. You own your own business?
Pilot car business.
Keep that close.
Pilot car industry.
Pilot car industry.
Which means to anybody who drives truck will know it, but anybody else wouldn't have any clue whatsoever. Sure. We are the cars that follow front and back of the highways, the oversized loads.
Gotcha.
Get the little yellow blinky lights on top, say oversized load.
Yep.
Little cars on the front, could be trucks. Following them and leading them through.
Hopefully that makes sense to people listening. Why do I forget? It's stupid laws, right?
Yeah, states got
like
lots.
Certain laws in certain states for things that are a certain size have to have what's called a pilot car or an escort car.
Yep.
And what is the logic behind that for safety?
For
you
safety.
Go out and clear roads.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, when the truck driver stops being able to see around the load is when they're kind of required. So when they reach a certain width, over 14 feet wide, that's larger than the lanes that cars drive in. I think those are about 12 feet wide. So when you start becoming larger than the lane and they can't see around it, and they require a car in the back. And then when you start becoming a little taller and a little longer, then they start requiring the car in the front as well.
Keep that as close as you can because you're super quiet. I'm looking at those monitors over there, yeah. And let me try. I'm going to try to turn these up a little bit.
Check, check, check. I think that sounds a little louder.
Because I know with you, we're going to be a lot quieter than we normally are, so hopefully you guys don't hear every fucking thing going on in the background now that these are up a little louder, like every little, you see what I'm saying? Now they're going to hear everything.
That's all right.
Every lighter flick when we light a cigarette, everything. They'll hear you swallow now. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. I got to turn these other lights on behind you too. I don't know what's going on in the studio, but I got like ghosts, man. I got some real phantoms going on here. Because now these two lights are randomly shutting off. I had to rerun that cable. I got to fucking...
New room, new setup.
Pretty much. I mean, it's not super new anymore.
How many episodes in the new room?
Not sure. I'm not sure I've been keeping count. I don't know if that's good or not. There we go. See, now all four are on, just like that. They're hooked up to my phone, and I don't really understand why they do that. Bizarre. Makes no sense.
Nope.
I shut every light off in here last night, including these. I walked in, and two of these were on, and that one was on. And no one had come down here and turned anything on. It's the weirdest shit ever.
Ghosts.
So that's how you've been doing lately, huh? But no, I mean, you guys are rehearsing.
No,
you guys are getting ready to record some music and shit.
Lots of music. Yep.
That's what I think's really interesting about you, man. Is you did the music thing for a long time. Just to kind of do a quick recap for people that haven't watched your recent episode or your last episode. You were serious about the music. You basically built a scene in Duluth. Then you came down to Minneapolis, and then what the fuck is going on here? I don't know why it's not fucking switching. It's being weird. I don't want to have to sit here and do this. Here, say something.
Say something.
Check. I wonder if it kicked it off. Hold on. Let's try this. All right. There we go. Now I got her working.
Nice.
Thank God I have enough knowledge about this so I can actually get it working now.
I'd be confused as hell, man. There's too many buttons and knobs.
Oh, I'd have been losing my mind. Even just 3 months ago, I'd have been like, I don't understand. Maybe we should.
You figured it out quick, though. You figured it out quick.
Yeah, now I can kind of troubleshoot shit. But so anyways, you built a scene in Duluth, and then you came down to Minneapolis, incorporated into our scene, kind of helped build the Minnesota scene, and then you, for whatever reason, people can go back and watch the episode if they want to get into more of the story. But you stopped, you quit. And you decided to get serious about business and doing that, and then you were successful at that.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think on the promo read, on the intro, I think I said you got bored or something. I don't know, but whatever. You decided you're going to take another serious run at music, so you joined up with the Mooger Fooger, and you guys started a band called Duratio. And yeah, it's cool, man. It's just a cool story. Not a lot of guys do shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't have the time there for a little bit as I started that business. Man, it occupied me like crazy. So when that thing started flourishing and I was able to kind of step back and enjoy that a little bit, then I got my time just opened up big time.
Hell, dude.
Yep. So got time for music again. Might as well get back into it. Make some music while you still can.
So what are you guys up to now?
Writing music. Just writing music.
Well, I mean, obviously, but like, how far along are you?
4 tracks.
4 tracks in?
Yep.
What are you doing? What are you recording? Are you going to do just like a 5-song EP, or are you doing a full LP? What are you doing?
Nah, we're talking about doing like an EP kind of thing.
So how many more songs you got to finish to get to that?
We're damn close.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Yep. No, a lot of fun, man. Exciting. Exciting times for sure.
So 5 songs average in a metal band, probably about 5 minutes a pop. So are you going to keep trying to tell people to do, which is, unless you're headlining, cut it down to 30?
That's nice. I mean, yeah,
keep that close, bud.
I do like 30 minute sets like that. That is nice. I enjoy them. Especially, you need to get out there. You can put more energy into it.
I think it's
especially as we're getting older, man. I think
it's the way to go. People's attention spans are lower.
Well, there's that too.
And it's like, unless you have a hardcore following really there to see you that night, dude, I just don't understand why making people suffer through 40 minutes of music they're not interested in.
Right.
Plus, you always want to leave them wanting more.
Well, there's that too. Absolutely.
That's the old school philosophy, right?
Absolutely.
You're not always going to do that if you're playing 40 minutes.
So you play 30-minute set and people are still cheering really super loud. They want you to come back. They're going to let you know.
Yeah, some people even argue, like, I think his name was Tony. I don't remember. Dude that used to run Station 4. He was a big fan of the 20-minute set. Get in, get out. Like,
that goes quick though. Oh man, that's probably only like 3 tracks, really. Because, there's a little bit of messing around in between the tracks and stuff.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is like, if you only do 4 songs, right, at 5 minutes apiece,
yep.
You do 4 songs, you don't have time to fuck around in between songs. So it's all killer, no filler. That was his philosophy. I'm not even saying he's right. I'm just that's just what his mindset was. You know what I mean? Why? And I kind of agree with it, dude. Especially like you said, not only as we're getting older, but as the younger generation, their attention spans are lower as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Unless they already know who you are and they're fans, I'm not sure they want 40 minutes of your new music. You know?
No, they might not, man. Especially when they're just learning it.
Especially when it's a local show. Like, how many shitty bands have you had to suffer through at a local show? Just because you're fucking, somebody who's headlining and their band's dope. That's why you're there.
Yeah.
You're not just there to show love. They're actually really good. But for whatever reason, one or two bands that play before them aren't very good. I swear to God, you were lucky if you got 3 good bands on a 4-band bill.
Well, yeah. Lucky. I mean, that's stretching it thin.
Yeah.
You know.
Otherwise, it was usually 2.
Yeah.
Usually, it was the 3rd band and the 4th band, the headliner. Sometimes, even that 3rd band wasn't very good. It was that 2nd band that was actually like killing it.
Right.
And that's the real opener. The 1st band, when you do a full 4-band bill, that's a warm-up act.
Go grab another one of those beers, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Might as well grab me
one too.
Yeah. I'll do one of those other ones in there.
What else you got?
There's a bunch of weird shit in there. No, not in this one. In the little brown one.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, this big one here is going to be a kegerator, bro. Yeah. You can have whatever you want in there, man. I also got some fucking whiskey. You want to sip on some fucking good whiskey?
I'll just have a couple beers. I'm not going to drink like that.
No,
still got to drive home.
I'm not saying let's do shots.
We're not. Are we promoting these guys? Are we not promoting these guys?
They don't need any fucking advertising.
These guys aren't throwing money into, and then so we can't promote them. So
no, it's so funny, dude.
Make sure the cans are turned around the right way.
I was talking to somebody about the podcast, and they were like, "You know what you need?" And I was like, "Ugh, here we go again." It's just like being in a band, right? You play your song for somebody. There's 2 types of people. And it's neither of the people you're looking for, right? But you're looking for somebody who's like, that's really cool. That chorus is fucking weird. What's wrong with those drums? Like, okay, so you actually like listened and yeah, okay. I fucked that up on recording. That chorus isn't finished. We're wishy-washy on it. Thank you for your input. Now we know there is something wrong with it.
Yep.
But we never get that. What we get 2 other things. We either get, yeah, it's really good, which is not helpful at all. Or you get somebody who's like, you should do this. You should do this. You should write a part like this. You should do that. It's the exact fucking same thing on a podcast, brother.
Oh,
exact same
really?
Thing. Exact same thing. Now, sometimes they have good ideas, and it's a matter of tech. And I'm like, yeah, I wish I could pull that off. Other times, it's a terrible idea, and it's clear that they have no idea what a podcast is.
Right. Oh, yeah, I bet that happens all the time, yeah.
And then there's other times where
it probably happens in every industry.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. And but this guy, he, it's one of those moments where it was a good idea, but it was beer. Like, I'm not even sure if I can do this yet. So he goes, you know what you need? I roll my eyes like, oh, here we go again. But he goes, you need a beer sponsor. And I was like, okay, yeah, but how? And he's like, you know who you should hit up is Fulton, because they're cool as fuck. They support the local scene. At a minimum, they would probably give you enough beer to that's at least the official beer of the spot podcast, and that's the beer you drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but I don't know anybody over there. Right. And I mentioned a couple other spots where I might know somebody. And then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 hours later, because it's one of those rare mornings, I was up at 5 a.m., couldn't sleep. So I'm down here sending out emails and texts at 7 a.m.
Yep.
Around 9, 10 a.m., somebody gets back to me, and he sends me his email address as part of the booking thing. You know how it goes. And I'm like, wait a minute, you work at Fulton? And he's like, yeah, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't approach it because it's a whole other story, but like, it was just so weird that specific brewery was brought up twice.
Yeah.
In a matter of
Could be
hours.
fate. Could be fate.
Maybe.
Could be
Maybe.
fate.
Yeah, because the dude, I don't want to say his name because he's not one of those type of people, but
Yep.
he brought them up because he knows they have a reputation for being cool as fuck. Like, he's worked with them on other things in the past, so that's why he dropped their name. So it was super weird that just happened to be where
Man, that's
someone else worked.
That'd be. I mean, you should reach out to him. Have you reached out to him yet?
Not yet.
You should. I think you should. I mean, you got everything to gain and nothing to lose from it, really.
I mean, yeah.
We're-
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you're
Should
right.
have a beer sponsor. Seems appropriate.
I just don't know if I want to get stuck drinking one beer on every podcast, you know?
Oh, what is
That's
that?
just not my vibe. Plus, eventually, and that's where I was bringing this up, eventually I'm going to be brewing my own beer again here. I even just bought a bunch of ingredients, and that's what the kegerator's for. So I can have 2 different kinds of beer.
Oh, yeah.
On
That's
tap
fun,
in
man.
That fucking...
I've never done it, but I used to have a neighbor who would do it, and he would just get mad creative with it. Just get mad creative with it.
Yeah,
Do all kinds of things. I'm always trying. He's always comes knocking on my door with a new beer every week.
Yep. Yep.
That'd be fun though, man.
I love it. And now that things are starting to stabilize with the schedule of the podcast and fucking, because that first 3 to 6 months was insane. Like there was nothing else getting done other than working on the podcast. And now that this is like a little bit more, on its course, I can start doing some other shit, and it'll be fun. It'll be things like other things I can throw up on YouTube. It'll be other shit I can throw up on Instagram or Facebook. Give Patreon shit. It'll just be extra content. But I really can't talk about other than that idea, the brew beer and stuff. I really got to keep the other stuff. I got to play it close to the vest because I got some really cool shit on the horizon. And Ezra was having Ezra on was just it was literally the first lap around the track. Like that was the finish line for the first lap. And it was crazy because he was almost 6 months to the day of the first podcast.
Nice.
Just over 180 days.
Nice.
So whether here nor there,
6 months.
I'm fucking excited, but it sucks because I can't talk about it. And that's why I'm like, so what do you guys got going on? What do you guys got planned? Because you know what I mean? Like, I can't talk about my plans.
Yeah.
Normally, I'd be fucking chewing everyone's ears off. Dude, I got this going on. There's like 4 people I can talk to it about, other podcasters, because they're sort of a part of these ideas.
Yep.
That's why I'm like, what do you guys got going on, man? Like, when are you going to play shows? We should play shows together.
Right? If there's ever going to be shows. I mean, is there going to be shows soon? Who knows?
I mean, they're booking shows.
Nobody's playing them. Not here.
Mm.
I don't know any shows going on.
Keep that close to you, bud.
Yeah, we have a tendency to do that. I get chilled out.
Just pull it close to you.
Pull it closer?
Yeah, like literally, like you'll see me, like if you lean back.
Lean back.
Yeah, just keep it close to you. I'd rather have you be comfortable than,
So they're booking shows at like venues and stuff right now?
So there was supposed to be one February 27th.
Canceled?
Pushed back. Yeah,
Pushed back?
to April.
Of course. Yeah.
To April now.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what's going on.
Though, I mean, they're going to have to come back at some time, but I mean,
I think we're going to have to adapt. I'm trying to figure out a way to stream shows. That's one of the things I'm trying to figure out how to do.
And even when they come back, you think that probably limited capacity?
Yeah. At first, sure.
Probably.
Unless they figure out a way to vaccinate enough people and then test the rest of us in real time.
Yep.
Like a quick 10-second, you come in, you fucking open your mouth, I stick this thing on your tongue. If it turns pink, you go that way. If it turns green, you go in the door. And that's the only way you could actually do it. It's the only way.
Unbelievable.
That's how they did it.
Unbelievable.
That's how they did it at the Super Bowl.
No shit, really?
Yeah. Like they did half cap. So half the people in the stadiums were cardboard cutouts. And the rest of them, all the seats were supposed to be 6 feet away.
Yeah.
And then all the people they did let in, they tested. They did some. I don't think it was on their.
No, it wasn't their tongue. It wasn't their tongue. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but that's exactly what they did. So the idea's there.
Super Bowl, man. Now we're on the Super Bowl. What'd you think of the Super Bowl?
It did not go the way I expected.
Really?
I expected a very close game down to the wire.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a very high scoring game. I thought it was going to be a shootout. I thought the Chiefs were going to win. I'm the biggest Tom Brady fan who's not a Tom Brady fan. You know what I mean? Like
I knew the Bucks were going to win that game, and I put a bunch of money down it on the front side. Won like $300 off of it. Not a ton of money, but won a nice little chunk of change. And I was only like one of 2 people of a group of people who predicted it to go that way. In the little league I was in, I was just in a little online drafting.
Wow.
Online gambling.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I thought that their defensive front was going to get to Mahomes and disrupt him like that and stop him from being able to do much.
Interesting.
They had been doing it the last few weeks. They just started all clicking on all cylinders, that defense, and it was really more that defense than that offense.
Yeah, can't argue with that. I mean, they held him to fucking 9 points, dude.
Antoine Winfield. How did the Vikings not pick Antoine Winfield?
Injury concerns. That's why he fell.
Oh.
He shouldn't have been drafted before he was drafted. It was the perfect spot for him at the perfect
kid played college
depth.
Ball here, Links
dude, he missed
city.
2 seasons with season-ending injuries.
Right.
Like you're not a first-round draft pick when you do that.
How healthy was Gladney? So I think Gladney was probably the
not that type of injured. Yeah. Not a history of injuries.
Now he is.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
I mean, that's how he fell. I just wish the Vikings would have grabbed him because we could have grabbed him. I mean, it is tough to argue with the guys we did grab. Like we grabbed Jefferson and Gladney. Then we grabbed Ezra Cleveland, and then we grabbed Cam Dantzler.
Yep.
All 4 of those guys look like they're hits.
Dantzler looks really solid.
And we also thought we were going to have the 2 best safeties in the NFL, and Anthony Harris didn't show up a second season.
Anthony Harris fell off big time. Yeah. You could probably let the guy walk.
Probably.
I think so.
Because what's his name? Harrison Hand? That kid? That kid showed up. That kid showed up this season. I'm like, there's your new safety. Move on. Zimmer's already notorious for being able to turn over that position. The only guy that suffers, the only way the defense suffers is when Harrison Smith isn't in there.
Oh, yeah.
But remember when it was Sendejo? And it was like, oh, fucking Sendejo's injured. The defense sucks now. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, we're like, Anthony Harris might be better than Sendejo was. You remember that? That was just 3 seasons ago.
I mean, he looked so solid there for a minute, but
I mean, he was in a contract year, man.
Well, there's that extra motivation, but he still is really. He was just on a franchise tag is all he was on this year, so he's still on a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
right. I think that's how that works, right?
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, and unfortunately, he probably didn't make a strong enough case for him to land that kind of money again this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I mean, I'd say he should be paid between $5 and $8 million a year after last year. If you could get him for 2 years, $14 million.
Wait, you talking about Anthony Harris?
Yeah.
No, we got to let him walk because the salary cap's dropping. Salary cap's dropping by like a shit ton. So, you got to let so many people walk. We're gonna have to let more people than that walk.
I don't think that's true. I think you just have to literally get Rudolph off the books.
11. That's 11 mil.
Yep. And Reef. I think it's those 2 positions.
Bradley Reef can't be more than 10 or 11, right?
Oh, no, he's like 13.
13?
Yeah, it's bad. It's a bad contract. And then I think if you restructure and extend, who the fuck was it? Scotty Ball, shout out to Scott if you're watching this. Scotty Ball did a great breakdown of it just a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Online. I'm trying to get that guy to get his shit together and start doing some serious stuff online. Because he just goes deep. He just goes deep into whatever he wants. So it'll be offensive linemen 1 week. It'll be fucking linebackers another week. It'll be the salary cap. It'll be the draft. And he's just fucking great at it, man.
That's awesome.
He used to run a podcast called Balls Deep Sportscast or Balls Deep Sports Talk.
Man, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah,
that sounds really familiar.
Dude, he interviewed and has talked. That's another reason why I love him, because he's so unimpressed by what I'm doing. Because he's like,
he's already done it.
He's literally been there and done that. He's interviewed Bud Grant. He's interviewed
all
of them. He interviews he used to interview several rookies as they would come in to the league as Vikings draft picks.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like, I think it's really cool what he does, and I really want him to step up his game. So shout out to Scotty Ball if you're listening, bud.
Scotty Ball.
Get your shit together. Get your life together, bro.
Unbelievable.
He's actually got he has his actual life together. That's the problem. That's the problem, is these guys have their real life together, and then they don't want to do anything fun that they're good at.
Really?
It's like, yeah, I noticed this.
I love doing things fun. I can't stop doing things fun. Come on.
What if I would have tried to get you to join a band 15 years ago? You wouldn't have done it. You'd have been like, "Nah, man, I'm too busy."
Well, 15 years ago, I was just getting out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But when you go outside something so hard for so long, oh man, you almost feel like you need to take a break for a minute. We went at it hard when I was coming out of high school and all through my early 20s. We went at it hard as you can go. Practice 3-4 times a week, played shows other days, and other than that, you're always recording stuff. We just went at it hard.
What was your motivation for going that hard that young? Did you think you were going to be famous?
Yeah, did. The following and the people just believing in you. Like people just came and
you had a good following.
And when people buy in, it makes you a believer. It's one thing to write music and you believe in it yourself and you go out and play it and you put your heart into it. But when people actually start believing in you and are drawn to you, it actually makes you think like, you're actually hitting on something.
Yeah, I know what that feels like.
It's crazy. And that's when it makes you think in the back of your head.
Did it ever go to your head?
So, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. There were times in Duluth where I'd walk around and I couldn't walk down a street and not see somebody wearing a dwelling hoodie or a dwelling t-shirt.
That's fucking cool though, dude.
Yeah. So it was out of control nuts.
I can't remember from our last podcast. Did you have like a bad moment where you're like, all right, enough is enough? Or was it just straight up burnout where you're like, I'm just not feeling this as much anymore? Like, I can't remember why you quit.
It was just kind of burnout. Yeah, it just ended, and you could get slugging away at it, but, I'd just been at it for so long.
But what was the catalyst that happened? Were you turning over band members? Yeah,
we lost another guitar player. Another guitar player had to move on and do different things. And then it was like, you just lost another guitar player before that, like the year before. And it's like, do you want to spend the time and, and then it's also, we were having trouble finding somebody who, there we go. Bam. I'll probably move my head again to tell you the truth. So yeah, and then you train somebody in, and then you lose somebody else the next year, and you want to go and do it all over again. It just ends up becoming such a drive, and it sets you back so far. And then other things start creeping in your life that you can start focusing your attention to, and then you just feel like you need a break.
Yeah,
just take a break, and then you don't even want to get back into music. You just want to take a little break. Feels like it's ready now, though, brother.
But then that break
is done.
Turns into a very long time for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, sometimes it's forever. Yeah, some people don't have the opportunity to get back into it.
And I'm sure you answered this last time, but again, I forgot. I think we drank last time. It's the only reason I don't remember anything from that podcast. So is it the same thing? You were bored again and wanted to get back into it and had the opportunity? This time
I felt my creative energies like coming back to me. Like I started having like vocal ideas in my head and just concepts of songs and things. And I felt like I had time enough and now in my schedule, I could actually start formulating this if I had the guys around me to do it again.
That's dope. And so you're still hanging out with Moog and all those dudes. You're still friends with all the musicians.
Yeah. I've been.
So all you had to do is be like, hey,
most of these guys, other than the bass player and one of the guitar players, I've known most of these guys all 20 plus years.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool as fuck.
We're all good friends.
So where do you see it going? Where do you guys see trying to take this? Like, what's the point? Is it just for fun? Is it just
well, right now it's just for fun, but man, the tunes are coming out real solid.
Yeah.
Like more, you start doing something, you don't know how it's going to turn out. You know what I'm saying? You just take your best crack at it and you approach it at a professional level and you see what comes out. And man, all 4 tracks right now are extremely quality.
Who's like the driving factor or the driving force behind this band? Who's the one that really makes it go?
Man.
And don't give me that team player bullshit.
No, I mean, it really kind of is. It came together. It came together as a team player kind of thing.
Whose idea was it to start the band?
Well, me and Moog talked about doing it all the time. You get fucked up. You talk about, hey, we should. This sound like pretty cool. Let's do it. Blah blah blah. But it's all just fucking bullshit talk. But then our buddy G, who's drummer in Selfless and another group, he was like,
I know.
No. He's like, no, this is a good idea. I'm going to make this happen. And then so G just put together the rest of the group. He put together the guitar players, the bass player, and pretty much was like, hey, you guys are coming down to practice. And we're going to see what this sounds like. That's how that happened. And that's pretty awesome.
So who keeps you guys organized day to day? Who's the? That's why I asked. Who's like?
That's
the
well. I mean,
driving
that's pretty
force?
much a group. That's pretty much a group effort. That really is a group effort. We're in all just a big group chat. We always talking every day, on Facebook and shit. And we
one of you motherfuckers is taking the lead. One of you. It happens. It's literally inevitable. Somebody in that group is making sure that all the shit falls between the cracks is being scooped up.
Yeah.
Because. Okay, if you're doing a big team thing, I've been a part of those groups, that's fine. But there's one guy making sure all the team members are on the same page.
For sure.
Is that Moog? Or is Moog burnt out on that, and is that defaulted to you? Or are you not interested and that's defaulted to G?
Well, I've always loved having a piece of my hands, a piece of the pie. I've
Sure.
always loved that.
Right.
It's everything I do in life, I like to have that. And so I like to be a part of it every single time. But I wouldn't say, there's not one particular person,
Interesting. I mean, maybe it's different now that we're a little older.
No, it's
usually
not.
That doesn't.
It's not. There's some people who maybe do a little bit more than others, but it's not.
And that's not what I mean. I'm literally just saying because when I'm in a project with 4 other dudes, even if I'm not the leader of the band, I usually end up being the guy that makes sure all 5 of us are on the same page. So it's this dude does booking, this guy does all the promo, this guy does all that, this guy does all this. It's a true team effort. Nobody's doing more than the other one, but I end up being the organizer, the guy who just makes sure fucking the clock actually strikes midnight at midnight. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Because all those moving parts have to work in sync. And regardless of how in control I am or not, usually I end up being that guy. And that's why I rephrase the question that way, because I'm okay, so fine, who's not grabbing the bull by the horns and taking the lead? Fine. Who's keeping everyone on the same page? Because without one of those members, there's no way everyone can stay on the page without that guy. It just never happens. And that's what I'm wondering is I know for a fact that would have been Greg if this were Black Flood Diesel, and it probably still would be Greg if it's Black Flood Diesel today. But he also might look at this band and go, hey, you know what? I don't want to be that guy in Deratio. I just want to be a band member. Okay, so then I'm going, well, if it's you and him that started the idea, then maybe it would default to you. But you also expressed burnout in the past. So I'm so then who's doing it? Does it default to G? Who's the guy who makes sure okay, yeah, cool, you're doing these T-shirts and this and blah, 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 blah. But somebody's got to make sure that the money's actually in the bank account, or make sure the flyers actually got sent out, even if they're not the one designing them.
Right.
That's what I'm curious about. Is who's actually running the ship?
Yeah. There's a lot of hands. There's a lot of hands in there.
Dude, you just refused to answer this.
I don't want to answer that question.
That's funny.
I'm pleading the 5th.
That either means it's you or one of the other guys. We've gotten to the bottom of it. It's either you or someone else. Well, what else you want to talk about, man? We haven't talked in so long.
No. Shit. What else should we talk about?
I mean, fuck.
In between the last time we did a podcast, man, what has happened? What has happened in the world?
Oh, dude, did you see the thing from the Super Bowl where I think it's it's either the governor of Florida or the mayor of Tampa. I can't remember who it is, but a bunch of people are complaining that no one was wearing masks at the Super Bowl. I sort of already addressed this because they did testing and shit, and there's 6 feet distancing, and they did all the things.
Everybody should be good to go, right?
And it's Florida where they have no laws.
Yeah.
And then this woman went and did a press conference, and she's like, those that were not wearing masks at the Super Bowl will be prosecuted. The police are handling it. And then immediately on Twitter, someone found a picture of her at the Super Bowl without a mask on.
Oh my goodness.
So it's are you going to prosecute yourself?
Yeah. That's
what I want to know. Are you going to prosecute yourself? That's all I want to know.
She's so dumb.
Or are you going to get a pass and everyone else is going to get hit? That's all I want to know. I don't care about any of the other political arguments. All I want to know is, are you going to hold yourself to the same standard? And when you give yourself a pass, are you going to give everyone else a pass?
Right.
Or is there going to be a double standard? That's all I care about. I don't give a fuck if she's a Republican or a Democrat, liberal, mask, anti-mask. I don't care about their state laws. That's too convoluted for me to get into.
Listen, if everybody just minded their own business, everything would be just fine. She just needs to mind her own business.
Well, here's the thing: is like, is it? Because she's governor or mayor or whatever, isn't it her business to exact the will of the people? So if a bunch of people want something done, isn't it her job to do that? I just can't believe she took that route, because in my head, I'd have gone, I didn't fucking wear a mask at the Super Bowl. I ain't fucking coming after myself.
I mean, just why? I don't know. I just don't think she should even bring it up. She shouldn't bring it up. I don't know. She should be happy they had a Super Bowl in their state.
So you didn't hear about that, huh?
No, I didn't. I heard about the streaker, though, and the bet.
Hey, what's up, Shawn? Thanks for jumping in, chat, buddy. I think he said it sounds good so far. I think that's what he said. Hold on, I'm going to get this into the front. Yep. It all sounds good, dude.
It all sounds good, dude.
Thank you, buddy. Takes a minute when guys have different levels voices.
Yeah.
Dialing in the volumes. My thing that I'm always nervous about is turning up the mics too high. I have limiters built in and compressors built in, so it's not going to peak. It's not going to sound like shit because we turn up the mics, but we're going to catch all the background noise. And then if I turn them up too high and we get too loud, I'll start coming through your microphone and you'll start coming through mine.
Yeah, you don't want that.
And you get this crosstalk, and like I can even hear it almost. Yeah. But Shawn Rush is this dude I met the other night coming out of the comedy club. Fucking sweet dude. We got stuck in basically a windstorm.
What comedy club?
Fuck, I don't remember where we went. Randy dragged
I
me.
love going to comedy clubs, man. I love so much fun. Yeah.
So, yeah, what was I going to say? I don't remember what club we went to, but Randy dragged me out after the podcast. That's what I was trying to say. And his phone died. It was so cold, and then we got stuck the way downtown Minneapolis is built. We got stuck, and it was like, it felt like 30, 40 mile an hour winds at sub-zero temperatures. So I watched his phone go from like 75% down to 0%, and we couldn't get a fucking Uber called, right? And then this dude comes walking around the corner. We have no idea where we are because we're so fucking drunk at this point. He's all spun around. And then I look at this dude and I'm like, just tell me where we are, bro. We're trying to get an Uber. And he can't figure out where we are because he's as drunk as we are. And then I end up stealing someone's Uber. Right? I go over and I get the old guy to believe that the system bugged out. And I called the Uber. And I don't know who that girl is or that location.
No shit.
So he's like, okay, whatever. And so we get in the fucking Uber and we get him to take us all the way back here, and we just pay him in cash. And I'm like, I don't know, fuck that other thing.
What? Unreal.
Yeah, dude.
Unreal.
And then we got here and we did an impromptu podcast that I called The Shit Show. And it was exactly that. It was a shit show. I deleted it.
Oh, that's funny.
Only a couple people got to watch it. It was pretty fun, but it was not worth keeping up online.
Yeah.
It was not a good podcast.
Sounds like a fun time, though.
It was a blast. So, yeah, what's up, Shawn? In case you don't remember that night, that's the story. Yeah, fucking crazy. And it's funny because there was like almost nobody at the club. The people that were there were wearing masks and
Yeah, I was
apart and shit.
over the Mall of America last weekend just to fucking see what was going on and everything. Pretty dead up in Mall of America too. Yep.
When were you there?
Last Saturday. Yeah, day before the Super Bowl.
What the fuck were you doing up there?
I had a buddy of mine from out of town. Actually, a guy who works for me. He'd never been to the Mall of America before, so I had to show it to him. Brought him up there, and then stopped at a few places, had a few drinks.
What did he
walked
think?
around. He thought it was pretty cool. You know.
Really?
Yep. I don't actually, to tell you the truth, I don't mind going up in there.
I mean, I don't hate it, but I think it's hilarious that people from out of town like want to see it. Like it's a tourist attraction. That's what I think is funny.
Yeah.
This is a giant mall.
Yeah, people love that stuff though, man. People love that stuff. They do. Especially when it's something big, like they don't have like something like that, by them. So
Do you remember when they were going to double it?
yeah. And then add the casino as well. They were going to do.
They were going to do a casino, hotel, and water park on the other side.
Yeah, they ended up doing the water park.
But not in there.
No, it's not. We're not connected the way they wanted to have it.
It was up 35W for a long time.
Yeah.
Remember that? And then they shut that down, and now don't they have a shitty version down there?
No. I mean, there's there's that water park from Mount America. Well, it's actually called the Great Wolf Lodge. It's right there on the kitty corner, the big indoor water park there.
Interesting.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I don't.
No? It's got the tower that's about as tall as the mall itself, and then it's got maybe like 10 slides coming out of it. All the water slides go out, and then they come back into the building.
Interesting.
Really? No shit. So I guess I just live just a little bit south of there, so I drive by that all the time. So
I bet you I don't go that angle. Like when because the place is so big.
Right.
It's a compound essentially.
Yep.
And I come in from the north side, the northwest end. So I end up coming in right into that parking ramp. Boom.
Gotcha.
So I never really see the outside of the mall ever.
Yeah.
I go right. All I see is a parking ramp. I go into the parking ramp, and then I end up in the
Well, you
mall.
see IKEA, right?
If I go to IKEA.
Okay.
But then my angle is I take a left and I go to IKEA. The only thing I see is that one main entrance, the old main entrance of the mall where it says Mall of America.
Yeah, for sure. And now it's all, now they've redone it. It's all down under the ground now.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't see shit.
Big massive billboards there.
So you're saying what you're describing is it's on the other end of the mall. Clearly.
Other side of IKEA, on the other side of the interstate from IKEA even.
Oh wow, yeah, okay.
Yep. So you even go on the other side the other side of 77 and something.
So it's not connected.
It's not connected. It's not connected. It's right across the 77 from it. So the Mall of America is here, and it's right across.
Technically, it's behind IKEA.
Yeah.
Then.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. If you're saying it's across from IKEA and across the interstate, and that because that would technically be the mall.
Yeah.
So it's behind IKEA. So it's like the mall, IKEA, and then there's that thing.
Yeah, it's an indoor water park with maybe like 10 indoor water slides.
I think the way the freeway comes down, I think the freeway drops you off right behind that. So you come down and then boom, IKEA's right here. You can't see that thing behind you. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yep, true. Yeah, you wouldn't see it. If you're coming on the other side, you wouldn't be seeing it over
So
there.
they moved that fucking shit show from up 35W. They moved it all the way down towards the mall.
Correct.
It was supposed to be It was going to be the coolest fucking idea. And I don't know who shut this idea down. And I don't know who didn't see the vision here. But it would have taken the Mall of America for being a piece of shit that no one ever wants to go to an actual staycation style destination for even the people within Minnesota, as well as a tourist attraction for even bigger reasons for outsiders, which is they wanted to double the size of it, put that hotel, casino, and water park over there, and then have a fucking light rail, literally like it's almost Disney World, go straight from the airport through that hotel and near the Mall of America, technically, right?
Yeah.
And then go right to downtown.
Yeah.
So you could get from the hotel, from the airport, and go straight downtown if you wanted. Or you could stop at your hotel along. It was a brilliant move.
It'd be nice if they could go nonstop like that.
Dumbasses.
I mean, you could do it, but you just got to deal with all the stops.
Leave it to Minnesota leadership. These motherfuckers are so small-minded here. Do you know the story why we lost the North Stars?
No, probably not.
So there was some weird sexual scandal, but all that aside, it was approximately $35 million that the owner was asking for to renovate the Met Center. Not the Met Stadium, the Met Center.
No shit.
It was about $35 million. And the state, our stupid fucking Minnesota Board of Sports Commission, you know what I'm talking about, the stadium, whatever the fuck those idiots are called. Yep. They wanted the North Stars to go play in the Target Center because the Target Center can do ice. But there was a legitimate contract problem because, and I'm probably going to fuck these up, so don't hold me to, but like Coke had the official serving rights in Target Center, but the North Stars were sponsored by Pepsi, and so they couldn't work that out. So Target Center was like not a factor. It was like, nope, that's not an option because we can't change out we can't do all of that. You know, the fucking Timberwolves play one night, then the North Stars play the next night.
Right.
It's too much turnover. The corporations couldn't work it out. Nothing. And the contracts were solid. Like, you couldn't just, like, get out of it and pay it off and buy it out. Like, whatever. It came down to $35 million, bro, that we didn't want to pay in 1992 to renovate the Met Center. So we let him move to Dallas. Now, granted, that guy was also a piece of shit. He did have a sexual assault lawsuit pending and some weird things going on, and he didn't want to be in Minnesota. But we gave him all the ammo he needed to get the NHL to approve him to move to Dallas. And why I'm so fucking furious about this is because later we paid I think it's like a $300 million franchise fee to apply, right? Now, we didn't fund the rest of the money. They did that to build the team. But then you and we spent like another $700 million in tax fund to build the Excel Center.
Wow.
It's like we could have just kept it. And we did that between 92 and 1999.
Yeah.
A 7-year swing.
It's a 7-year swing. Wow. Unreal.
So we went from, 35 million is too much to, let's basically spend $1 billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although
the Excel is awesome.
It is great. But that should be where the North Stars are playing.
Right.
And it would have been a lot cheaper to do.
Would we have probably lost the North Stars anyways?
No, because that dude ended up selling the North Stars shortly after he moved and before they won the Stanley Cup.
Man.
Because of that sexual assault thing.
Yeah.
That sexual assault shit followed him down to Dallas. He wasn't getting out of that. So
right.
we had the ability to go, no, you're the problem. Get out. And then, sorry, dude. It's just fucking drives me nuts, man.
Yeah.
And we almost pulled that shit with the Twins. We almost pulled that same shit with the fucking Vikings.
Yeah, man.
And it's like we had already lost the Lakers. We'd already lost the North Stars. And again, this is my point. We lose the Lakers, and then we get the Timberwolves. We lose the North Stars.
That's a good trade-off, right?
Right. We lose the North Stars, and then we get the Wild. That's a great trade-off again, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's funny, man.
Why would we want to lose the Vikings to L.A. or lose the Twins to wherever the fuck they were going to move? Because damn well those are the two most popular sports in our state.
Yeah, for sure. You're not going to lose those two. You'll never lose those two.
Well, you would have never thought we would have lost our hockey team.
Yeah, I mean,
this was traumatizing for me. If you can't,
I was never a hockey
have
fan.
PTSD
I was never a hockey. I like hockey fan now, but back then I wasn't. Actually, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Back in '92, I wasn't a fan of any kind of sport.
So I
didn't care about sports at all until I moved down to the cities and I saw it all around me.
So check this out. I was lukewarm on sports except for baseball. And
Really?
Then I swear to God, I'm not joking.
Like my parents had me play baseball and they had me play basketball, but I just didn't care. It wasn't me. I quit them both.
Really? I loved baseball, but then I swear to God, my kitty corner neighbor, his older sister, so him and I are 7. His name's Ryan. I'm not going to say his last name on the podcast, but his name's Ryan. His older sister was 15, 20 years older than him. So she's somewhere between fucking 20 and 27. I don't remember, but she was a full-grown adult.
Yep.
And she, no fucking lie, was dating Mike Modano.
Crazy.
Yeah. For real, for a long time, 2 or 3 years.
Really?
A long time.
That's random.
And because I was young and naive and easily manipulatable. I think is that right?
That's right. It sounds
malleable?
Right to me.
I'm going to say
to
malleable. Or easy to manipulate.
Easy to manipulate.
Seeing the fact that he got to go to North Stars games all the time and meet Mike Modano and had all this signed gear from Mike and the rest of the team players and shit. And he played hockey. He was really good at hockey. I started getting into football also, and I actually started getting really good at football right away. But
you yourself, what'd you play?
What do you mean?
What position? Yeah.
Oh, dude, right now I'm talking.
No, when you said you were really good, when you were really good.
When I started to get good, or
yeah, when you
this story.
Oh man,
in this story, I'm just a little kid, 7. I wasn't, you know what I mean. So when I say I got really good right away, I mean just I didn't suck. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I understood. I picked it up. Boom. Okay, I'm a football player now too.
Yep.
I play baseball and football. But he would still, no matter what, and this is the point, I would dominate him in baseball and in football. But we'd put on the skates, rollerblades, and we'd play street hockey, and he would fucking own me.
Really? Fuck,
Because he was good. This kid was good. And his sister's banging Mike Madonna. So I started to pretend to be a hockey fan because I thought, because I'm young and dumb and easily malleable.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, I want to meet Mike Madonna. So if I'm a hockey fan, I'll get to join along. And that never worked out, by the way. But what ended up happening is I started paying attention to hockey. I started playing Blades of Steel on Nintendo, so I learned the rules.
Yep.
So once I learned the rules from the video game, I was no longer confused watching it. And then I became like a very, what I would call a serious casual fan. So not just a casual fan, but like a casual fan, and I really understood the game. And I just never watched regular season hockey until the playoffs were on. And then I would watch playoff hockey. And so I remember when I was talking hockey with my dad just a few years ago, 5-6 years ago, my mom's like, you don't like hockey? And I was like, yes, I do. She's like, since when? And I was like, since I've been like 8 or 9. And I almost said his name. Holy shit. and Ryan's older sister dated Mike Madonna. And all of a sudden she goes, I remember that. And she was like, I remember wondering why suddenly you wanted to like get a hockey stick and all this shit, Yeah. She's like, you were never into hockey. You never knew about hockey. But it was like almost becoming a fan by osmosis, just being around it.
No, that makes sense, man.
Not for a pure love of the game. Not like football. Like I got introduced to football and I was like, oh, this is my shit. 7, 8 years old, being able to, in a suit of armor, being able to fuck up kids twice my size.
Yeah.
Like, no longer did my size matter. My coach taught me really fast. Because I already kind of understood some basic physics, because I was a smart kid.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's like, listen, he may be bigger than you, but if you run faster and get lower than him, you'll knock him over.
For sure.
And I was like, for real? And he's like, yeah.
Physics, brother.
Yep. And so I'm like, okay, this makes sense, sort of. Because I remember him saying, like a bullet.
Yep.
Like a bullet's only this big, man, but it travels so fast.
Yep.
I'm a bullet. Dude,
Here we
I started
go.
fucking kids up, dude. Hurting kids.
That's
not
awesome.
Not injuring them, but immediately hurting kids. Like, he hits too hard. And my coach is like, no, you don't hit hard enough. I immediately found a place where all my rage as this weird fucking single parent child with displaced rage could focus it in a constructive way. This was years before I ever found music. Wait, did you play Little League sports?
No, not really, man. My parents threw me into baseball, basketball, but it just wasn't really my thing.
You hated them, so you quit.
Yeah, I wanted to play music when I was younger. I told my mom to put me in guitar lessons, and she put me in guitar lessons. I started learning how to play guitar.
Do you ever do that on your own?
No, I started with her, but I gave up on that too. As soon as I was like 13, 14 years old, man, I wanted to start singing, being in a metal band. I started discovering heavy metal, and I just wanted to play music.
But you're not a giver-upper. Why'd you give up on it so many times? How come you
wanted to sing more?
Really?
Yeah.
But now you don't sing, you scream.
Well, that's what I wanted to do then too.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Same thing. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I started discovering like the heavier side of metal, like right off the bat. And I was just like, oh, my next door neighbor Matt would come on over and he'd show me these just crazy metal bands. I'm like, listen to that stuff. It's nuts.
When are you guys gonna have music that you can come on and play?
Couple months.
It's too long. You gotta do it like 2 weeks from now.
I don't know how that's gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
Do you know where you're
that ain't gonna
recording
happen? No. I'm tossing ideas around and stuff like that, but no, not a clue.
The good guys are busy.
For sure.
The guys you want.
That's good.
have
It's gonna be
a full
good.
schedule.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be the best around. We don't mess around. I don't like to mess around when it comes to recording stuff.
You know, I've never had a good high fidelity recording.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's my only regret.
Well, there's still time.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
still time, bro.
I mean, we're doing it now.
yeah,
It's just taking forever.
there's still time.
This record should have been done a year ago.
Right?
COVID was a huge problem
COVID sucks.
because this room was a rehearsal space. Like, this room was set up for a band to play in.
Yeah.
And jam. I had my drum set over here, and then I had it over here, and fucking we had the amp set up, PA, the whole deal. And it was just a matter of finding the right guys. And then right as we found the right guys, COVID hit, and everyone was scared to get in a room together and jam.
Ugh.
And they were like, well, we all have the technology. Let's just do it remotely.
No,
and I'm like,
no,
cool,
no.
let's do that.
Oh,
Because
man.
technically the songs are already written. I don't really need, for this album, for the first album, I don't really need that collaboration magic.
Gotcha.
I just need to get these done. They're old songs already. Get them recorded and move on. Then we can start getting creative together as a real band.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because, I mean, there's something to be said for when you get individuals in a room and
100%.
you create. You can't even replicate it when you write that music live like that when you just all get together.
I agree, man. And I'm the biggest advocate for that. I talk about it on this podcast all the time.
Yep.
This is not a good way to do things. For not only do you use that spontaneous moment, but in my case, shit just doesn't get done. Guys get distracted. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, dude, when you have to show up at rehearsal on Wednesday, there's no I'll do it tomorrow.
No, you're there.
We're doing it
You're doing it right there. You're there.
And it's not like against your will. Like, that's just what you do.
Yeah.
So you don't need to procrastinate things because you have a structured time to be creative. And believe it or not, you do eventually figure out a way to like engage your creative brain and just turn it on.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Tell me if you experienced this as a singer, because I did. And it definitely didn't turn off as a drummer. And when I'm in my flow state, so to speak, as a guitar player, it certainly doesn't shut off either. But let's say you and I formed a band and we're getting together every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. religiously. And we rehearse. Whatever we're doing, that rehearsal changes band to band, and we don't need to get into the nuances. Point being is that Monday during the day, I will just subconsciously start thinking about the music.
Yeah,
so I have ideas by the time I walk in the room Monday.
Yep, that definitely
Monday
happens.
night.
That
Yeah,
definitely happens.
right?
That happens all the time.
And then
for sure.
Tuesday, you're thinking about music, ready for Wednesday. You start to get excited about it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there's never a need like, oh, I got to go do that thing.
No.
But when we start doing this fucking sending the tracks back and forth shit, and you get distracted by your wife or your kid.
Yeah, it becomes more
or your
robotic.
dog.
It's more robotic.
Yeah, or you got to mow the lawn or snow blow the fucking sidewalks
Yep.
or work on your car. Then all of a sudden it's like, well, when do I have time?
Yep.
When do I have time to? And then when you do have time, you're not in a creative mood, or maybe you are in a creative mood, but you're not feeling that vibe that night.
Yep.
So you spend 2.5 hours recording like, I don't know, fucking death metal blast beats. And it's
Speaking of spontaneous,
this isn't a death metal band.
Spontaneous artistic stuff like that. G, our drummer, came up with the riff for some of that stuff I was showing you earlier for that track with just his mouth, just cooking food up in the kitchen, working, doing his daily job, and then this riff came up in his head, and he showed it to the guitar player, and we started working with it.
Wow, that's impressive.
So that's pretty cool, right?
That's impressive because usually
But that happens because you're jamming and you're rehearsing on a continuous pattern, and when you leave that, you the next day you're waking up and you're still thinking what you did the night before, and things and ideas are flowing through your head like what you're talking about, and bam, they come to fruition.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's impressive because usually the last words that a drummer ever says in a band are, "Hey, I got a riff," and then they get kicked out.
Yeah, dude.
It's real.
Nobody kicking out the drummer, brother. You know how hard those guys are come by, man. Those guys are.
And the good ones are in 7 different bands.
Oh, well, that's the way it's got to be. I mean, man, if you're a good drummer, game over. You can do whatever you want.
Dude, and that's the thing is people are like, yeah, Jared, why don't you just play drums for your project? You're a good drummer. And I'm like, because I'm trying to play guitar in this project. And yes, I could and did write the concept drums for my entire album. The grooves, where the snare placements are, where the syncopations are. So like this fill doesn't have to be this way, but it has to fill this rhythm to sync with this guitar chunk. You know, like, so there's principles within the drums.
Yeah.
And I did that.
Yeah.
But I can't do it on stage. And it's very hard to find a drummer that's going to do exactly what you did on record perfectly on stage.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
So the happy medium is I write these concept drums for this first album and then find the right drummer who understands this style. And then he just does a better version of what I did on this record. And then on the next record, he already knows the game plan, the roadmap, the formula of our style, and he can just take over and be the drummer.
For sure.
That's the way. That was the plan.
Yep. So in your project, you're pretty much writing everything.
Yeah, except for the lead guitars.
Okay.
Well, that's not even entirely true. Dalton is now the lead guitar player, so he's writing most of the solos and most of the leads and auxiliary guitars and things like that. And then Jeremy writes the vocals, and I've written everything else.
Gotcha. Cool, man.
So now it's a 3-piece, but it was all me. And then Dalton he just laid a couple little fucking... And I was
awesome.
like, oh, gold.
Yep.
Oh, you got me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's great, man.
Hell yeah.
Do you remember -3? Or were they after you were kind of done?
No, that name sounds very familiar. I think I do. Actually, I think
awesome.
I tell you the truth. I think I was dating a girl, and she brought me to a -3 show. I'm almost 100% positive.
Yeah, because she probably... either wanted to bang one of the dudes in the band because they were gorgeous.
Do they have a song with like a really, really catchy spot that like the whole crowd knew?
Probably. Dalton, if you're watching, you would remember this. If there was was it a call and answer thing? Or
No,
was
I
it
just
just
remember
where the whole crowd sang
I remember a lot of people
along?
singing along with the track, man. Yep.
It was either that or Johnny Rook.
Now the -3 name sounds very familiar.
Yeah. They were gorgeous too. They were all young and just beautiful dudes. They really were. They were gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
It was ridiculous. And they were all good. And they wrote good songs. And the amount of beautiful women that went to their shows was just so over the top.
Oh yeah.
It was just ridiculous, dude. No one else in town was able to compete with that.
There.
Really, seriously.
Yep.
It was so hard. Banehinge did really well, though. Banehinge was probably the only other band that had that many hot chicks actually show up to their shows. And then eventually Withered the Tide. Or, I'm sorry, eventually...
We played a lot of
Buried by
shows
Hope.
with Banehinge. Played a lot of shows with those guys.
Did you play with the old version of Banehinge when Dave was the drummer?
Don't remember any of those guys' names. Not anymore.
Interesting.
Man, it's 20
There's
years
a
ago.
few different incarnations of that band. And I just feel so bad because and you can probably relate to this too. We have so many bands that we played with and so many friends that were in so many different bands. And then some of these bands had different versions of them.
Right.
So it's like, fuck, dude, I can't keep it straight.
Yep.
Between that and the venues changed their names, shut down, new one opens up across the street, whatever. It's
Yeah.
I can't fucking keep them straight in my own town, let alone out of town.
Right.
I mean, fuck, some of these things are 10, 20 years old, dude.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to remember that shit? I'm only 36. That's the crazy thing. I started doing this when I was 16 years old, and I still can't keep it straight.
Yeah, I was about that young. Yeah, I was about that young too when I started playing music. Maybe even a little younger. I couldn't drive yet. Yeah, I had to have other people pick me up.
I could drive.
So I was probably 15 then, because I started driving right when I could.
Actually, no, you're
I had to
right.
get out there
I
as well.
couldn't. Well, I was able to drive to my first show, but I didn't. We drove together because we had gear together and shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We had card up and stuff, but I was legally able to drive when I played my first show. I remember that because I drove myself to rehearsal and I drove myself home after the show. Or from my... Where'd we go after my first show? After our very first show, we went to my guitar player Mark's house and did like a little house party.
So excited.
We were,
Yes.
man. And I think I was
We
up,
played our first show.
I think I was up till sunrise.
That's awesome.
Just on adrenaline.
Oh yeah.
What about you?
What did I do every show? I'm sure we party. We party after every show.
Do you remember your first show? Your very first real show. Not a high school talent show. Those don't count.
No. Yeah, I remember my first high school talent shows too. But no, I remember because we did one of those. But then when we played our first show, yeah, I definitely remember that. I was 16. I was 16 when we played our first show. 16 when we played our first show. I do remember that.
Where was it?
It was at the Recyclabell in Superior, Wisconsin, Tower Avenue. Go across the bridge from Duluth. Recyclabell. No longer there. Hasn't been there for a long, long time. But it was a cafe. People would just move the tables out of the way, and bands would sit up in the corner and just rock out. Our drummer was and our guitar player at the time was in another band called Zephaniah from Duluth, who was really popular. So they already had like people who come and see him like on a regular basis. So our first show probably had like 125 kids.
You know what's crazy is when you and I talk about numbers now, like 125 kids for your first show
For
is
sure.
a huge amount of people.
That's a lot of people.
That's insane.
That's a lot of people at a bar. This was a place that didn't even sell alcohol.
Right.
There's no booze here. This is 125 kids who came out with no booze incentive. If you want to get something to drink, you're getting a cup of coffee because there's a cafe.
Even now at a bar, if your first show, you show up and there's 125 people.
No, that's great poll.
People are going.
Bars
this
are
is
gonna
a
be really
good-
happy.
This is a good first show.
If you bring 125 people into a bar and half those people are buying drinks, that bar's doing pretty good for that night.
Right. In comedy, that's almost a full room for a lot of small clubs.
Yeah. Yep.
And like they start talking about big numbers when they're looking at like literally, dude, fucking 1,500 person people venues. Sorry, 1,500 person venues. Or yeah, that's like a theater to them. 15 to 3,500. Where it's like that in our industry, you're just starting to not be a local band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like when you're in 1,500 attendance as a headliner, 15 to 3,500, you're no longer a local band. Like you're just now like do you get what I'm trying to say?
No, yeah, for sure.
Like
Yep.
you're asked as an opener to bring 50 to 200 people.
Yeah. Yep.
Like to bring our shows and shit. Depending on the size of the show. If you're opening a concert, at least this is how it works in Minneapolis. Still to this day, for the most part, if you're opening, you are asked to bring 50 to 200 people, depending on the show. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yep.
What I find insane is like, if you're a new comic trying to go up at an open mic, that's basically the equivalent of it. They're like asking you, or what they call a bringer show. It's a little bit more than an open mic. They're asking you to bring like 5 people, 10 people.
It seems so small.
I know. And I'm not mocking them.
No. Of course no. It's just interesting.
I'm like, it blows my mind how
Yeah, it's
like
just interesting.
those numbers seem to me like easy.
Yeah.
Easy. But
I know.
they don't, and the way the success and the money works and all that shit too, man.
If I was going to go do stand-up comedy tomorrow night, I think I could probably bring in 20 people just who'd want to come see me sample on stage. And I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
But can you keep 20 people coming?
Oh, on a continual basis? Maybe.
See what I'm getting at?
Yeah,
Like,
it'd be tough. It'd be tough to keep them coming on a regular basis.
yeah.
But yeah.
So that's why they go, okay, just get 5. Because then the next time you can get 5 more. And you can rotate through that 20.
How often
4
do they have to
different
do
nights.
that?
That's like
Monthly?
that. I would say that is a tier on a certain circuit every night. 'Cause,
Every
like,
night.
yeah, because a lot of these places, like in
Man.
New York and Boston and shit, you're trying to do sets every night.
Every
so
night.
you can practice. You're trying to get 5 minutes, 10 minutes on stage. You and I, when we make our art, we get to go stand in a room with our boys and fucking just sweat and just like be our own critics.
Yep.
And then once we know it's done,
Yep. Then we
show it to people.
Then we show it.
They don't even get to truly start working on their art until they work on it in front of other people.
True, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
So they got to go up just like you and I rehearse 3 times a week for 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's 9 hours a week.
Yeah.
If they want to put that type of work ethic into their comedy and they're getting 10 minutes a pop,
Yep.
15 minutes a pop, divide that 9 hours by 15 minutes then. How many sets do you have to do in a week?
Yeah.
So if you're in New York or Boston, some of those guys are doing 6 sets a night
Yeah, for real.
at different clubs.
Man.
Really trying to bang it out.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
the
man.
work ethic it takes, just like our industry.
Yep.
Because
Just a little different.
when you've been doing it a long time, maybe you don't need to get in a room 3 nights a week with the same dudes to get your shit tight. But I will say this, no matter who you are, just going to say this, Metallica still regularly rehearses even when they're on tour. They rehearse every day on tour. Every single day, Metallica still rehearses.
Wow.
Always has been that way. And if you're part of their silly little fan club, They show you footage.
No shit.
Here's our rehearsal. This is 3 hours before the show. They do an hour-long rehearsal every day.
Man.
Because once you're sharp, fine, but you still got to keep sharp, because you will Dolan.
Yeah.
So the work ethic is just top notch on any of these guys that are good at anything.
Unreal, man. I had no idea they practiced it. So you must be a part of that fan club.
Sort of. So I'm a huge Metallica fan. I'm part of their little free thing, but I don't ever check my email.
We gotta be careful here because they haven't paid anything yet.
Who?
Metallica for advertising on your show here, so we gotta be careful. Fair.
I did set that standard earlier in the year.
Oh man, I was playing. It's not like Metallica's gonna come knocking on the door any day though.
You got me. But I'm part of their free fan club.
There you go. Okay.
And I never check my email. So I never actually see anything they send me.
Yeah.
I just sometimes catch YouTube clips. Shit that's been thrown on YouTube, whether it's by them or somebody else. But I've seen hundreds of them over the years. And they're literally rehearsing their set for that night. Like, the real pros, whether you're playing in front of 500 people or 5,000 people or 50,000 people like Metallica, the rehearsal never stops.
Yeah.
The honing of the craft never stops. David Lee Roth? Not David Lee Roth. Eddie Van Halen. Did you know he had problems with his wife because of that? On their honeymoon, he locked himself in her bathroom in the hotel for 4 hours so he could practice guitar. She almost left him that night.
Oh man, that's funny. Wow.
Now I'm not suggesting anybody needs to go that hard to pay, right? But
well, it's David Lee Roth. I mean, he can do whatever. He did it.
Eddie Van Halen
locked somebody in.
But
all right, you said David. Oh, gotcha.
I did say David Lee Roth, but I don't know why I said.
You said David Lee Roth.
I did.
Sure.
I did. But I did correct myself as well. Eddie Van Halen is who I was.
Do you have a restroom down here, brother?
So you can either go use the regular restroom or you can go piss in the sink over there. There's a basement sink, depending on how ghetto you want to get. Otherwise, it's straight up the stairs and basically above us. All right, guys, if you got any questions, throw them in the chat right now. I appreciate it. Whoever's been tuning in, hanging out with us. We're just chilling, man. I hope you guys aren't expecting like fireworks and shit, because we're just relaxing, dude. We're not trying to break the internet or anything, but throw your questions in here. Like, subscribe. By the way, we've almost hit 2,000 subs. Not 2,000 subs. Jesus, why can't I talk? I've only had 2 beers. No, we've almost hit 200 subs. I'll steal Andy's joke. I'll eat 200 subs. So funny. I look so skinny on camera, but I'm actually kind of fat. I'm like skinny fat. That's the worst kind of fat. If you're fat, you look big. People are like a little bit scared of you. But when you're skinny fat, people look at you like you're skinny, but it doesn't mean you're actually like in shape. Doesn't mean you actually like offer anything in terms of fear. No, I'm pretty sure there's something going on with the mixer because everything seems super quiet. Like, I keep having to turn everything up, and I didn't change anything, so I'm wondering if I made a mistake. Shawn should be back anytime, guys. But yeah, seriously, throw your questions in here now that Shawn's getting back. We took a little break. Dude, grab whatever you want in there, dude. Because I actually have to take a bathroom break as well. So any questions you guys have for a singer, for a business owner, metal music?
Is there anybody out there?
Oh, dude, how'd your Super Bowl party go?
Oh, it was awesome. There's a bunch of people, man. Yeah.
I wanted to come, dude.
Oh, man.
I just couldn't coordinate. There's too much going on. So even with me not doing a podcast.
At my house, I got TVs everywhere. I probably have over 500 inches of television throughout my house.
Like this, almost, but in every room.
No, in like every room. Like my main room, there's like probably a 60-inch, and I have a adjoining room right next to it. That's another living room. That's got another 60-inch that seats maybe.
So do you run an HDMI matrix to port to all of that, or do you have?
No, it's got direct TV boxes, little wireless Genie boxes.
You have a box for each TV.
Each TV.
And is that just so you can get different channels in each room?
That's just so you can have the TV just plugged into the wall and have just a little box sitting behind it.
Dude, I gotta show you what an HDMI matrix is, bro.
Yeah, you gotta show me what that is. I have not a clue.
It's so you can plug in X amount of inputs.
Yeah.
So feeds.
Okay.
Right. So like 6 different Xboxes, or cable boxes, or computers, or whatever you want. And then on the back end, you have however many outputs, and then you can route any of those inputs to any of those outputs.
But how are you going to connect them all when you got like multi-level house and stuff?
So the way I'm going to do it is when I run new cable.
So you're rewiring.
I'm not rewiring anything.
Or wiring.
Well, I have it easy because my whole basement's exposed.
Yeah, I don't have the capability of like sending those things throughout my different levels of my house. Yeah. I got like almost a 4,000 square foot house on 3 different levels.
I see what you're saying.
So I mean, but anyways, you walk in. There's a TV in the main room. There's another room. You walk out to the garage. There's a 60-inch TV hanging out in the garage. The hot tub out there. So you kick back. There's a sectional couch that seats like 15 people in the garage. Or smoke your lungs away while you watch the game out there. Sit in the hot tub, relax. You know, that's where the smoking lobby is out in the garage.
That's fucking great, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something similar here.
And that's just like the main level. And you walk downstairs, I got a pool table. I got a full arcade down there with maybe 20 like stand-up arcade games going down there. And then there's a dartboard, and there's a full bar down there with another TV, and there's another TV in the pool room. There's a pool table, and there's a whole video game room. There's a whole video game room where there's a 70-inch cutting edge television and a 60-inch television right above it. So if somebody's gaming up, you can turn the game onto the TV above the TV,
right,
and not have to miss a moment. So somebody can keep gaming up, and you can watch whatever you want right above it.
I did versions of this on a much more
awesome
bootleg level budget, but no, I did the double thing. Exactly what you're talking about.
That's awesome.
So I could be sitting here playing video games, and then my girlfriend or my wife, now my wife,
can keep doing her thing.
Could watch TV up there, and I'd be on my gaming headphones. So
she watched like Forensic Files too, like figuring out how she's gonna kill you.
Yeah. 100% convinced of it. Not just Forensic Files, but specific
all those
things
things
about like. She watches entire documentaries about wives getting caught trying to kill their husbands.
Right.
And I'm like, are you trying to figure out what mistakes not to make? Is that why you're watching this? All of them. Like, she's a murder mystery freak.
Yep.
She loves horror movies as well. Everything's about death. I'm convinced she's trying to kill me. That's why she's like, we got to take a life insurance policy out on you. I was like, no, just double yours.
So like, yeah. She likes scary movies. She likes trying to fucking figure out how to kill people. She likes everything death. And then as soon as you get in the car, you put on some crazy metal and be like, can we change this?
Yeah. My favorite is it's either that shit, or then I walk up, or it's that, or it's Gilmore Girls.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
Like, why are you watching Gilmore Girls? She's like, what's wrong with Gilmore Girls? I was like, I don't know. Not enough death.
I was getting used to everything else you were watching.
There's no cops in that town. I don't know if you've noticed that. Your wife watch Gilmore Girls?
Yeah, she does. You
ever notice there's no cops in that show?
I don't pay that much attention. I haven't paid that close attention, honestly.
Do you know one of the most highly rated podcasts on the internet is called Gilmore Guys?
Really? Those guys. How slick is that? Just taking the play off the name.
Two dudes talking about Gilmore Girls. Swear to God, no lie. It's 2 dudes doing like breakdowns and shit about
That's
Gilmore
pretty good,
Girls.
man.
I think it's terrible.
No, it is terrible. But I mean, it's just
I think it's
pretty
shameless.
good for those guys. Well, there's something to be said for that, for sure.
I think it's shameless. I think it's terrible.
Shameless.
It's something. And what are you gonna do when that show's done?
Well, yeah, for sure.
How are you gonna rename your show to jump onto the next show?
But they're the #1 rated podcast.
They're one of the top. That's damn for sure. They
did that.
So far, so good.
Right. So,
as long as they keep putting out content on Gilmore Girls to talk about.
That's the way I feel, man. I mean, that's the way I feel. I mean, they're doing that. They're doing that.
All right, you guys got to throw in your comments because I got to go to the bathroom here now. There's a couple people watching. There's only 1 or 2 people watching right now, If you guys got any questions, put them in here because I got to take a leak, and we don't want to leave Shawn here sitting alone. That's all. That's the whole reason we do the comments, by the way, is so you guys can.
So our first podcast, we talked a lot more about music, my background in music, where I came from, metal scene, stuff like that. This one, we're talking more about different stuff. Super Bowl.
I mean, we'll
stuff.
talk about whatever you guys really want to talk about. I mean, that's really the point of the podcast, is to get more interested in talking about you guys.
Yeah.
You know?
No. I mean, it's just fun, just talking. Just, you know.
Yeah, you talk about whatever we want.
Yeah.
And the reason,
see where it takes you.
And that's why I do that on the first podcast. It's like, who the fuck is this guy? That's everyone's number one question: is who is this guy? Okay. Here's a whole 3-hour podcast dedicated to it. And like, unfortunately, that's also why I gotta kind of cut people off from time to time. Is like we can't spend 3 hours telling this one story. Like we gotta let people get to know you and your arc. So when you come on again, we're not continuously trying to explain to people who you are. This is why we talk this way. These are because we touched on these things in the and then by the time you've been on the podcast 2, 3, 4 times, people know who you are. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like they're like, this dude's awesome. We don't care what you're talking about.
Right.
We just like hearing you two riff back and forth.
Yeah.
And so it's really just a matter of figuring out like what we want to talk about tonight. You know, we've hit the Super Bowl.
Fun stuff that's going on out there, man.
It's fucking wild, dude. What do you think about these new strains that are popping up now?
New strains of the COVID? I don't know. I don't think it's that as big of it. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. I don't think so. I think it just end up being. I don't know, man. I think a lot of that stuff is just clickbait, man. People come up with stuff. They just really want you just to read their little stories on this stuff.
I think it depends on where you're getting that info from, for sure. Because if it's just straight media who has a source and doctors are reporting, then yes. But if it's a specific institute,
we've just heard about the viruses, but like the different strains of them. But we haven't heard anything like major about them. Majority of the people just say that the vaccinations work on them still, and it's not really even that big of a deal, really.
I've not heard anybody be nearly that assertive.
Yeah, I don't follow it quite enough.
There's only a couple people I listen to on it, and I'm not willing to try to regurgitate their science, but I trust them in what they say. And
I honestly don't read anything.
Concerned.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't read anything on it. So I just hear what people are talking about around me. So like I recently just had a bunch of people over at my house for a Super Bowl party. You know, I don't want to tell people. There's like 20 people over, but I hear people talk about different things, and that's really where all I hear. You know,
it's fucking. I don't know what to think.
I hate reading up on any of that stuff. It doesn't interest me.
Well, and here's the thing: is like, what are we gonna do about it, dude?
No, it's out of our control. It's out of our control.
We can't do anything about it. So what's the point of freaking yourself out? Like, and that's where I'm at now, man. It's like, just live your fucking life, dude.
Yep,
live your fucking life, man.
100%, dude. 100%. Absolutely.
I think people have to. I think if you take that away from people, they're gonna lose their fucking minds.
Yeah.
And people have been losing.
That was going on last year.
Shit is going on now, man.
People cooped up, man. I check my cell phone real quick.
Good?
We gotta make sure
you got a company to run. That's the reason I don't give Shawn shit about his cell phone going off during the podcast is because he runs a company.
Run a pilot car company, biggest pilot car company in Minnesota. Got 16 pilot cars running around the state.
The only other person I've given that level of a pass to is JP because he's an on-call firefighter.
Oh, that's a big one. Yes, you'd be like, the reason your son died in that building last night was because of Jared's Singer Extravaganza.
Did you check that one out? I suppose you probably don't have time to watch the podcast.
There's been a couple of them I watched because I know some of the guys, Reaping Asmodia guys, Wally.
What'd you say?
Reaping Asmodia.
Suckers! Reaping Asmodea.
Asmodea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't ever look that close into the pronunciations of things.
The reason I'm laughing is not because I'm laughing at you.
Check this out.
I'm laughing at them because they know. It has been a running bit that is a terrible band name because no one knows how to pronounce it. So much to they actually did a social media campaign, a contest.
I like the way
who could come up with the worst misinterpretation.
Okay, I gotcha.
They did a competition. This is how much of a joke it is, and they know it, and they're in on it. They did a competition which who can come up with the worst mispronunciation of our name. And the winner was Raping My Gay Ass All Day. That's the one they picked. That was the winner.
Oh my goodness.
Raping My Gay Ass All Day.
Oh man.
That's how awesome those dudes are, though.
No, it was a cool guy.
All right, so check this out. We got a couple comments in here. Looks like it's still Shawn hanging out with us. Shawn, talk to Shawn. Shawn, talk to Shawn. I'm going to take a piss. I'll be right back. You should probably read that question out loud so people understand.
Ever sing karaoke? And do you sing to your style or do you sing random songs? Man, I don't ever really do karaoke, honestly, to tell you the truth. My buddy Corey does karaoke all the time, and it's always the same song when he does it. He does The Greatest Song in the World by Tenacious D, and he acts the whole thing out. It's freaking hilarious. Don't worry about the world anymore. Only affect your immediate surroundings. You know, there's no doubt about that. No doubt about that at all. Tell you what. He's not going to want me to plug this, but Surly Furious IPA is absolutely delicious. He turned me on to this one, and I got to say it's absolutely fabulous. So last time I was on here, we were over in the room next door, and he moved his whole studio over to this room. I gotta say, this room is a little bit more, I don't know, feels more homely, much more. I like your new room better. I'm telling everybody I like your new room better, man. Feels just more, feels more, I don't know, comfortable, I guess. More, not so dark.
Yeah. The other one was like a little bit of a black hole.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool once you were there. You kind of like lost track of where you were, but
yep. So yeah, so if you guys check out that last podcast, you'll see it's in the last room, and
it's also more cramped.
Yeah, it's definitely more cramped. Yeah, this one's way more open.
Yeah, we got room here.
Yep.
I like it a lot. I'm glad you guys like it. I hope the viewers like it better as well. That's the only thing that I haven't gotten consistent feedback is like everybody who's in the room is like, this is way better. I love it. But the viewers are 50-50 on it. The listeners don't care. So the people who only listen on audio, they don't give a fuck about the spot.
Right.
Hopefully it makes their user experience better because you're more comfortable and we have a better podcast because of it. The viewers, they do have to sit here and look at this room while we're hanging out.
Yeah.
So hopefully they dig it. Hopefully they're enjoying it more. If not, then again, my only default is hopefully you guys are more comfortable and it makes the podcast better. Because other than that, it's fucking 50-50, man. Yep. Some people don't like it. Some people think it's too busy in the background, whatever. And they're not wrong. I mean, how can you be wrong on your opinion?
Bro, you got all the cups? Or all the cans, I mean? Oh, you're missing...
I'm missing a couple. I don't know where they are. They fell off when we started rehearsing down here, so I moved them. And then I think somebody accidentally threw a couple away when they were helping me clean up one day. Because, yeah, I'm missing a couple from a couple different divisions. The viewers can't see that, but I got the whole NFL,
it's got the whole NFL
thing with each of the teams. Yeah, I'm missing one from that division, one from that division, and one from that division. 3 cans total. Fuck. Now I'm going to have to go on eBay and pay $15 each.
No shit. Is that what people sell them for?
I don't know. But
I wouldn't be surprised.
I know, right?
They're a limited thing.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of limited things, I mean... I was that guy who would buy extra PS5s and Xboxes and pawn them off. I was that guy.
Yeah, some people think that's a dick move.
Yeah, for sure. I bet a lot of people do.
But here's the thing is if you're going to make money, you're going to make money. And like a man's got to do what he's got to do. That's why I don't judge people on that. As long as you're not breaking laws and fucking people over.
Yeah.
It's like, not your problem. It's really not. Like you're not selling drugs. You're not. You're not hurting anyone.
No, nobody's going to hurt. No.
You're just working the system.
Hurt myself a couple times. I was cold waiting in the line to get that pre-order in at GameStop outside all night long. And then you also got to look like that guy.
And then what do you have to pay for them in full to pre-order them? Or do you just
yeah, you got to pay for them. Yeah, you got to pay for them on the spot. Yeah. And this is, this is all months in advance before they even come out. You know what I'm saying? You just hit up every pre-order you possibly can until they release.
That's crazy.
And those people who do that, they're really, they're paying their dues on doing it. They're waiting in line and they're putting time into it. They're not just.
Again, that's why I don't hate on them. Like, those motherfuckers did it.
They're doing it.
It's like those people who live near the state fair.
Yeah.
And they charge you $20 to park in their front lawn.
Dude.
Somebody's like, $20? That's insane.
It's simple
like,
economics.
Fuck you.
It's quantity.
Fuck you.
Quantity and demand.
You want to park your shitty car on my fucking lawn.
There's no parking
where you're
around.
going to leak oil.
Yeah.
Eat shit.
And
it's $20. Go fuck yourself.
You're also saving. They're saving them money because if they go park in the fair's parking spots, it's way more than $20.
Way more.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah. Or if you want to take public transportation, well, you just better plan on leaving like 3-4 hours in advance because it's gonna be a long ass line,
dude. Unless you do it the right way.
What's that?
So there's a secret now.
Dum dum dum.
There's a bunch of places around the state fair.
Yep.
That do shuttles. So you park there, and then you take that shuttle directly to the fucking fair.
Oh,
and it's
like
guys. 1 mile.
Look at these guys.
And they use real city buses too.
Oh,
It's not even a secret. It's free. You don't even pay for it. So your parking's free, your ride's free.
Oh shit! So it's already something that's been set up into the mix,
dude. It's been there for years. Just no one uses.
Nobody
it.
even knows about it.
So there's like 6 churches in the area. There's a few grocery stores, and then there's city buses.
Yeah.
That they do one route all day for 10 fucking days straight. They go from this fucking grocery store to the state fair.
Man,
no pickups in between.
I used to know a street like that in downtown Minneapolis way back in the day before they built the Target Center. Ran right through that little area there. There's a little side street. They didn't have parking meters on that street. Barely anybody knew about it. And there's no apartments or no condos around there.
That's the shit.
So, and it was 2 blocks. I'll say it's 2 blocks away from the Quest. And you just had to go over the little bridge. You just had to go over the little bridge that's right there where the Quest used to be. Remember where the Quest used to be? You had to go over the little bridge, go across, and it was just 1 block up. There's the main drag where the place used to be, and the little dance club and all that shit. But then you go 1 more block up and to the left, and there was just a side street, and for some reason that street didn't have parking meters. And that's where Target Center sits today. You go over there, park your car, and it was never had anybody parked there. I couldn't believe nobody owned it.
Long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Yeah, man, long time ago. Yeah.
I literally don't ever...
2000, 2001?
No, then you can't be talking about Target Center. You got to be talking about Target Field.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Target Field, bro. Target Field.
I was like,
Field.
dude, because I don't ever remember. I'm not old enough to not remember Target Center. Target Center's always been there in my eyes.
Target Center's been there longer than we were around. Well, no, I don't know if it's that long, but I mean, pretty
Target
long.
Field.
Target Field. I'm talking about Target Field. Target Field. Yeah, Target Field's been there for 8 years now? 9?
Oh, man. Feels like longer than that, dude.
You think Target Field's longer than that? Shit.
Honestly, I don't know, but it feels like it was almost 2000-ish, like shortly after 9/11. I'm
going to say 2010, 2011.
Gosh, I don't know, man.
Well, watch us. Look at the power of technology. Here we go. When was Target Field built?
2010.
2010. So what did I just say? 2010.
10 years old.
10 years old?
I feel like it's almost 20 years old already.
Well, all right. So built in 2010, but inauguration was 2011. So, man, I was like,
that was the first game.
I was right on the money.
Wow. No, that kind of makes sense, though, because I was like, 25, 26 when it opened. It just feels like 20 years
just
ago.
feels longer than that.
Yeah.
I do miss going to baseball games, though. I love going to baseball games.
Now that you say it, no, that makes perfect sense, because I remember on my 25th birthday.
If you're ever chilling around your house one day, you're like, man, you know what I should do? I should go down to a baseball game, have a cold beer, watching a baseball game. I wonder if I have anything I could go with. You just message me up. I'll be there for you.
Yeah?
I'll be there for you, man. Anytime of the day.
That's awesome.
I'm ready to rock. Anytime.
Me and my buddy Tony used to do, every year, we would do, I swear to God, this lined up for like 6 consecutive years. And Tony couldn't come every year, but I did it every year with just whoever was able to make it. We went to there was a day game at the Twin Stadium, and then we would go to the Vikings draft party, because for years it lined up where there was the NFL draft, there was a Twins day game at Target Field.
That'd be awesome.
So we would take the day off of work, go down there, get shit faced during the game, and then go to the Vikings draft party.
It's a good day.
Man, by the end of it, though, it's like the state fair. You're wrecked.
Yeah, for sure.
By 10 o'clock at night, you're done.
Yep.
It's over. You're like, I'm fucking ready to kill somebody if I don't get some fucking sleep. Oh, yeah. But it's a great time, man.
Heck yeah.
It lined up perfectly for like 6 consecutive years. Twins home day game during the draft.
Years, man.
It was cool, dude. It was really fucking cool.
You got to imagine how hard that's got to be for them to line that up like that because, like, you know, there's a home and away games. So it's surprising that would line up like that every year. They hadn't been planning for it.
Maybe it wasn't 6 or 7 in a row, but it was like now it hasn't happened. And that's why we quit doing it is there was like 3 or 4 or 5 years in a row where it didn't line up.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, and then the Vikings draft parties got really weird. Like they'd break them up into different areas and like some of them were hit and miss.
Yeah, that sucks.
Some of them were crushing, like they were fun to be at, and other ones were dead and awkward and weird. And it's like, why are we here?
Yeah, that would be strange.
This
yeah,
is
man.
stupid.
Because I mean, they either put so much into it, and if nobody shows up, then that just looks weird. Just looks weird.
Yeah, and then they'll send Vikings out to try to make each one of the parties great.
Yeah,
and then still, like people go to the parties where they want to see certain players,
right?
And
for
then
sure.
the other ones are still dead.
Yeah.
Not like you just get any Vikings player in there and you're just gonna fucking crush.
Yep.
It's just not how it works.
No, don't work like that, man. Nope.
How long have we been going, man?
Yeah, sure.
Hour and a half?
We've been BSing here for an hour and a half already?
Yeah. Fuck, dude. This is where we just start usually getting to the good stuff too.
All right.
Is like we usually the podcast actually gets good in the third hour.
The third hour.
Yeah,
you go
like,
that long with some of them?
Oh yeah. So usually
wow.
it's like this. Usually it's like the first hour is just warm up BS. It's like honestly you could probably just skip it. Unless you're a huge fan of that person. But it's still not that good. The second hour we start getting into some cool shit, you know, whatever. But usually the third hour is where the podcast actually gets good.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. You sit here on a daily basis and talk to people and like, man, it's got to get really interesting sometimes because you just sit down and talk to somebody for like 2-3 hours. You're almost a psychiatrist.
I don't know. I mean, I dig people. I think that's the main focus of the podcast is like trying to get to.
Well, it's cool. I mean, you talk to people
more.
and you start getting stuff out of those people and you start learning what they're kind of all about and stuff. And I bet you some of them get really, really fucking interesting.
Some of them also get really boring. Yeah. Every once in a while they get awkward.
Oh yeah, you get some awkward ones. Well, screw that.
My favorite is like,
oh man,
I don't want to say anything.
All right.
I don't want to say anything that somebody feels like I'm calling them out.
Yeah, you don't want to call people out. Don't want to do that. No. I tell you what, though, man, it's been a good start to the year.
So far, so good.
Yep.
Other than that whole coup.
Coup.
You know,
Coup.
when they tried to take over the government and storm the Capitol building.
Well, it's just strange stuff. I don't know what people are thinking.
I mean, here's the thing. They thought the election was rigged. But
what are you going to do?
Here's the thing is you don't do that because that's actual like obstruction of democracy. Like you committed an actual crime, one of the most egregious crimes in our country, to try to combat something that you thought was a crime.
Right.
Like that's like killing somebody because you think somebody raped your wife. Like, dude, there's a whole process we got to go through, man. Like, you don't get to just kill people because someone else said something happened. That's not how anything works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in any world we live in. But other than that, you're right. Other than that, so far 2021's been pretty decent so far.
It's been pretty good, man. It's been pretty good.
As long as you stay off Twitter.
I knew who was going to win that Super Bowl. Nobody could believe me. I told everybody before that game. Did you know it was going to go down that way though? I did. I even knew who was going to get the touchdowns. I told people to run with Gronk as their tight end in draft.
So
draft
you
leagues.
are officially the 2021 prophet. Jesus, man.
Listen to me. Tune in for more otherworldly advice.
So where's the podcast? Where's my podcast going in 2021?
Oh man, you don't want to know. It's not looking good, brother.
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
Oh man.
Why would
you say
that?
I'm scaring you. I'm scared.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
Don't you put that evil on me. We were talking
awesome.
about reaping earlier. Shout out to the Reaping Boys. They got the Cobra Crew, Cobra Kai themed merch. I think it's called Limited Run dot reapingasmedea.com or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. It's their fault for making it complicated.
It's a hard word to spell. It's not an easy one.
Well, they were just on. You can go. I think the link's in their description. I think they were like episode 56 or something. If you go find that episode, there's a link in that episode description to go buy this t-shirt if you want. It's a sick shirt, and it's super
It's a cool shirt,
dude. I really dig this shirt. We were talking about these guys earlier for anybody that's confused for the reference, especially if you're just tuning in now. Fucking merch is expensive to make, dude.
I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's really changed that much over the years. Honestly, that's my opinion of it. I don't think it's changed that much over the years. I think I was still making, because like we just made a whole bunch of shirts, pressed like maybe like 500 shirts, sweatshirts, different things.
See, this is a little easy because this is one color. Even though it's two locations, they have something on back and on front. It's still only one color, two locations.
Ours is two. We got white and reds on ours, I think, right? Yeah.
How many locations?
I don't know. You got the sweatshirt around here somewhere, don't you? No, you got a.
Yeah, so you got two.
Is the white on the back and the red on the back, and then
I wear
the front.
that fucking hoodie, by the way, on almost every podcast. It's either that or this gray sweater.
It's a comfy hoodie. It's a nice hoodie.
Almost every podcast.
It's a nice hoodie.
It's ridiculous, dude.
They turned out good too, though. They look good. If you guys want any merch, derechoband.com. DERECHOBAND.com.
Link is in the description, and you
link is in the
have
description.
that up last time you were on.
Yeah, we had it up here. I brought up some stuff for him.
You had the merch, but you didn't have the website up yet. I don't know if they can see that.
Oh, everybody
you got to
can see
take the
that.
mic so it's pointing right at you.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
pointed at that one.
What is there's a?
Hold on. You just talk. Hold on.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Rocket. There it is. There it is. That's the money shot. See, he's closer to the. Oh man, here's the camera right there.
Yeah, there's
now
two
you
cameras.
guys are in trouble. Now I found the
actually,
camera.
there's three cameras.
Now I found the camera.
Now you're in trouble. But it only goes to you when you talk.
Oh really? You got it set up like that?
Yeah.
Where when you talk, you're like, man, unbelievable. Yes. Come on, guys. There it is. I found the camera.
There you go.
Now it's gonna be fun.
There you go. Yeah, guys, make sure you like and subscribe and all that cheesy shit. I don't give a fuck if you hit that bell or not. Just like it and subscribe. That's the love we need. We're almost to 200 subs now. We got to get to 1,000 before we're allowed to officially get paid by YouTube.
No way. It takes that many? Up to
1,000?
2,000, huh?
1,000 subs in order to.
Oh,
monetize.
1,000. 1,000.
We're almost to 200. Last time you were on, dude, I had like 60.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. I remember that. So that's awesome. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
That's good.
The good news is like we do have a real following. We do have people that actually watch and listen. The YouTube stats got hurt really bad when we launched the audio side. But point being is like I'm able to monetize through my own sponsorships and things like that. But yeah, I can't make money directly through YouTube until
I think there will be a fair this year.
Subs.
Your boy Shawn Roach asked a question at the bottom there. Will there be a fair this year? And I think there's going to be a fair this year. I think they'll do a fair with just face masks and stuff like that.
You know what I think they need to do? It's weird that he asked that, and it's weird we were talking about this because I was just talking about this with my wife. I think they need to double the length of the fair to 20 days at half capacity that they usually get, and then make people wear masks. Boom, there you go. Problem solved.
Tough to do that though, because man, people are just gonna. Well, you have to buy. Okay, so if you do that, you have to do tickets in advance.
Yep,
it's the only way, and you have to let people have a time frame where they can check into the park. Because if you buy a ticket, that's tough to do too though, because like some people want to spend the whole freaking day there. There's got to be a way to limit it because people just bum rush that place.
Yeah,
because that's what happens. People bum rush when that fair is open. People bum rush it like it is mad crazy. And I mean, you see it when you walk the streets. You see thousands and thousands and thousands of people at that fair. It's nuts. I travel and I go around other fairs. I've been to other fairs around this country, in big cities too, Atlanta and some others. I don't know. I've been to one in Baltimore. I've been to one in Atlanta. I've been to one in Dallas. Denver.
The Texas State Fair is the only one that's
So-
technically bigger than ours
But
because they beat us in attendance, but they're also open for 30 days. We're open for 10.
yeah.
And that's the only reason they outpace us in attendance.
So where I was going with that is they don't seem as extravagant.
They're not. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. That's where I was going with that. Is I've been to a lot of these other places that are like even like bigger cities in like the Twin Cities, and it's not as big of a deal to them.
No one gives a fuck about the state fair like Minnesota. It is the coolest thing we do.
I don't know if it's the coolest, but I mean it's a cool thing. It's a
Then
cool
what?
thing.
Then what else do we do here that's actually cooler than the Minnesota State Fair?
I'm not sure. I mean, I tell you what, when you bring people, so I got people who work for me from out of state. People who work in North Carolina, people who work in Arkansas, people who work in Texas work for me. I got 60 employees who I hire, and so these guys, I bring them up here and I entertain them. Do you know what they're interested in when they come up here? Some of them are interested in the Mall of America, which is kind of goofy to us locals who are just sick of it. But a lot of them are interested in like seeing people snowmobiling all over the place, snowboarding. I got 2 people who work for me who have never touched a snowboard in their life or a ski in their life or have ever seen it. Saw we had it. They're like, you got to bring us out to the hill. We got to try it.
That's cool, but
I tell you what,
Colorado.
you go up there, you go up that hill, you're just gonna roll down the whole hill. You're not gonna do it. They still wanted to do it, and they did it.
That's cool, but like I don't know, man. There's definitely places that crush us in skiing, even beginner skiing.
Oh
Colorado,
my goodness! Oh
Utah.
yeah. Oh yeah, no
you know
doubt,
what I mean?
No
like
doubt, no.
like we don't hold a candle in skiing. It's a joke here. But the state fair, it's the coolest thing we do because it's like our Mardi Gras. You see what I'm getting at? Like nobody else does this the way we do it.
That's
no
true.
one in the entire country. The closest would be Texas or even Iowa, but Iowa's state fair is a joke. Like, did you see the logo they had a few years back where it was a literal cock and balls?
No, I didn't. No, I don't pay that close attention to Iowa State Fair. No,
Swear to God. So the logo they did for the state fair several years ago, it's real.
No, that's funny.
Is a silo, a corn silo, and 2 hay bales. It's a cock and balls. Iowa State Fair 2000 whatever, and they approved it. It's real.
Oh man,
That's how much of a joke it is.
man, that's crazy.
No, the Minnesota thing is weird, dude, because it's like, especially, man, you get into like the beer gardens at night, like those things turn into fucking parties, dude. Like wild ass parties right there by the fucking, by the fairway.
Yep.
Is that what it's called? The fairway? Why doesn't that sound right? It's not called the fairway, is it?
Here's one that people really like in Minnesota.
What is that called?
It's
not the fairway.
I think it is called.
Where's all the games? It's not the fairway. That's in
No,
golf.
it's not called the Fairway. It's called
the
I don't remember what it's
the
called.
main fair. No,
I don't remember what it's called.
fuck. Put it in chat. Fuck. I can't remember this simple word. What is that
I'm
called?
surprised Shawn Rush isn't about to answer. He looks like he's gonna answer that one in a minute there.
Shout out to Shawn Rush. Shout out to Shawn Rush for being top fan tonight. Where's my thing? There it is.
I tell you what, people also love in this
The
state.
Midway. That's what it's fucking
The Midway,
called.
that's
it's
it,
called
that's
the
it.
goddamn Midway.
You know, also people love in this state. Well, I obviously didn't go down last year, but I went down all the years prior to that. Duluth Blues Fest that they do out there on the Bayfront, right there on Lake Superior up there. Man, thousands of people come out to that Blues Fest.
Duluth's cool.
Yeah,
Duluth is a cool town, dude.
it's fun. It's fun. Summertime is really cool. Wintertime is just so
Stillwater's also
freaking
shit.
miserable. Stillwater is awesome. Yeah,
I
that's a fun
love
town too.
Stillwater. That's Kate and I's little spot. Kate and I, me and my wife, when we want to get out of town, we go to Stillwater.
Stillwater's a good little spot. Where do you guys stay there for the night?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys stay?
Usually at the that place on the river.
There's a place right there on the river. Is it right by downtown there?
It is in downtown. Yeah.
Come on, really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and we get the balcony, and so it's dope. Like,
Really?
If
You guys do this in the summertime, obviously, not in the wintertime.
no, we do it in the wintertime. It's better in the wintertime.
Better in the wintertime.
Yeah, it's
All
also,
the bars open and
It's
stuff.
also more expensive in the wintertime. But
You guys ever looking for people come down there and party with you when you go do it?
so here's what we do.
Or do you guys just like a romantic giveaway for you guys?
Both.
A little both.
Right? So
Because if you guys ever want somebody to party, you let me know.
if we,
We'll come.
it'd probably be better to do the party thing in the summer. Because we could probably do like a double date thing in the winter. But here's what you do.
It doesn't
It's
have to be like that. I just
No,
it sounds like a fun time to go there and
it-
get a room and
it-
go party and
it
have a good
does
time
have,
together.
what I'm about to explain to you has to be this way.
Okay, yeah,
It's either just you and your wife, or it's like a double date with me and you and our wives. But it's got to be like nobody and their fucking girlfriend who's gonna like get dramatic. No, like wives, chill. We're away from the kids, or in our case, the dogs. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So here's what you should do. I can't remember the name of the hotel, but you specifically have to request certain rooms because only a couple of the rooms have riverfront views and balconies and hot tubs and fireplaces. So is what me and my wife do is we bring our robes, right? We fire up the hot tub.
This place got hot tubs up there and everything.
Yeah, you jump in these fucking jacuzzis. We leave the door wide open because we crank on the fireplace and we have the jacuzzi going. And then is what we do is we get in and out of the hot tub and we go sit on the fucking balcony, and out on the balcony we keep like a cheese plate with some grapes and some wine. And so we just bounce in and out, just hanging out. And it was hilarious because somebody gave me this tip. They were like, you need to do this. This is the shit. And I did it. It was awesome. Kate loved it. So we went back and we did it again. And it's not necessarily a secret. There's other people that do exactly what we're talking about. Because one of the last times we were there, these motherfuckers in the next room over to us were doing the exact same thing. So they had like a little table with some wine, and they'd like get out. And you can tell if you're just walking outside or if you came from the hot tub from the amount of steam that's coming off of you. Yeah, and you'd sit out there, you'd drink a little wine, you'd grab some cheese and a cracker or grab a grape or something, and then as soon as you were chilly, you'd go back in and jump back in the hot tub. But the point is with the fireplace, you could leave that balcony door open the whole time. And it's fucking, dude, it's romantic as shit. It's fucking awesome. Cool fucking town. And it's right there, right by that gas station. So you can go down and grab some of that fucking popcorn. And candy corn from that place. You can go down the fucking it's right by that.
That's awesome.
That's
a
bar
great time
on the river. It's dope, dude. And there's another hotel a block or two up, but still in downtown. We stayed there, but that place isn't nearly as cool. It's not nearly as cool.
You don't remember the name of the place you're talking about?
Not off the top of my head. I have to look it up. I'll let you know though, dude.
Stillwater.
I'm also not sure I want to blow up my spot online while we're on the podcast.
That's not a bad idea.
It's like something that Kate and I do semi-regularly.
No, that's a good idea.
I don't want any weird stalker shit.
No.
It won't take an internet sleuth to figure out.
Are you Jared Springer?
It will pretty easily be figured out. Anyone that gives a fuck.
Mr. Singer.
Based on what we just said.
Mr. Singer. I'm looking for Mr. Singer.
What about you?
What's that, brother?
You got any sneaky, cool little spots to go to?
Fuck no, dude. We go out of this place. We go all over the place. We're gonna take off for a minute. We go cool vacation. Okay, yeah. I got a couple cruises lined up this year. A couple of little things. Yeah.
I'm spooked out about doing something like a cruise though, man.
Well, I don't even know if there's even gonna happen. One of them's an Alaskan cruise, and I just saw something online today where Canada was like, no cruises coming through our province or any of our waterways throughout the whole year, and like those all go to leave like Seattle and go up to Alaska. You're going through Canada's section of their territory there.
They could just turn and go through international waters. It can't be that hard.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think it looks like it's going to be canceled, to tell you the truth. That's what I think.
That would suck.
No, that would. You're absolutely true. Yeah. And then I have a Bahamas one too, and I
want to drive to Texas. That's what I want to do. I want to take the 16-hour drive to Texas and just hang out for
You never driven down to Texas? Man, I got like employees working down there right now and stuff and everything. I've been down to Texas so many times. Actually, I had a buddy of mine on my drive up here. I had a buddy of mine tell me he's moving out of Minnesota because he's tired of the cold. He lives in Shakopee currently. He's moving down to Galveston. You know where Galveston's at?
Yeah.
Just south of Houston. It's down there in the ocean front.
Yeah.
Nice little area.
Hope he enjoys hurricanes.
Right. Oh, brother. I didn't even think about that one. Man, I didn't even think about that one. Yep.
We might be moving down there.
Really?
Not to Galveston, no.
No. Austin? So I got a cousin who lives in Waco. That's a cool one. That's a cool little town.
Yeah, it's a little too far out there though, because
well, it's not that far. I mean, it's 30 minutes south of Dallas.
Yeah, but I want to be more in the Austin area because they got a really strong music scene, and now Rogan's down there building a comedy scene. And if I'm going to be spending 50% of my time down there,
you're gonna go with where you got like stuff going on like that. Yep, for sure.
It just makes sense. Like
yeah,
if Kate and I are going to live 50% of our year in Texas to get away from the weather, because that's basically what it would be. Is it'd be like we'd be down there November to March or April.
I've had a lot of fun in
and
Austin.
And then we'd be back up
Austin's
here
a fun town.
Summer.
You been down to Austin before?
No.
Interesting. The Interstate 35 is it runs through Austin, making its way southbound there. It splits up.
I've been through Texas, but I've never spent any time in it.
The interstate runs on top of each other. The westbound and the eastbound, they run on top of each other as it goes through downtown Austin.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. You don't see that too often. But yeah, the interstate literally splits up and it runs on top of each other for a minute and then splits back up on the other side of downtown.
Are there exits to get out? So what if you took the wrong way? You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, well, you'd have to be an idiot, but hey, I've seen people do all that stuff all the time, and it's just like, man, there's signs right there telling you not to go that way, but just people playing on their phones or whatnot. Man, you'd be surprised at stuff we see out there when we're like pilot card and doing stuff. We'll be out there, directing something that's big and massive around a corner, and people get so impatient that they don't want to wait for us to get around the corner, and they will literally like try to drive through the ditch and stuff to get around us, just to get around the corner. I've seen people do that and literally get their vehicles stuck. I saw a guy in a Jeep. It was the middle of summer. He had the top off. He's like, "Hey, man, F you guys. You guys are taking too long to get on this corner." And we got something that's like 20 feet wide. We're slowly going around the corner. Make sure we don't destroy shit. You know what I'm saying? And then, once we get around the corner, then we'll just open things up and let everybody go on with their life. But for a few minutes out of your day, we got to just get around this corner. We saw this guy come on this Jeep, top off. He's rolling on through. Comes on through the ditch. Fuck you guys. You guys are in our way, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, he hits like a spot of like softness, so soft in the grass and whatnot, that his vehicle literally just flips over onto its side. This guy's in there, and now his vehicle's sitting upside down. He's not wearing a seatbelt. He's laying upside down. And man, we're running over there trying to help the guy out, and this guy is so irate. And man, it was just a funny scene. It was like one of those things you wish that would happen to those kind of pricks like that. And it was one of those times when.
But you got to just keep driving, happened. So you don't see anything after that. You just keep going.
Well, when something like that happens, we literally pull over there and make sure that the guy's all right. We got to go check, make sure though.
Dude, that's a hilarious story. You got to just make up a really hilarious ending.
But that's what you always want to see. But like when you're driving 40 miles per hour through a snowstorm and you're in like the lane over the slow lane, and you just kind of go on things, and then you see that prick just fly by, and he's just like looking at you like you're a dick for driving so slow, and he's fine, man. You're just like, man, I wish that guy would just go in the ditch.
It's what gets me
never happens. It was like one of those moments in life where like you finally get it. Absolutely.
I'm never that dick, but I am the dick who.
Well, no, most people don't deserve it, but every once in a while.
The semi driver, or the guy driving with the overload thing, or wide load or whatever, he's swerving a little bit, so he's like I don't even feel safe being anywhere near him. So
right.
That's the guy I'll fucking gun it, go around him and flick him off as I go, and then just make sure I'm speeding like 85 for a while so he can't catch up to me. Like some weird fucking road trip shit.
You ever think maybe the guy that's pulling that wide oversized load thing maybe weighs like a billion tons and is insanely hard to control?
Yeah.
And the wind's taking him, and he's like, man, you can barely keep it.
Yeah, but here's also what I'm thinking is like, dude, you almost hit me 3 times. Because you're taking up basically 2 lanes. And you're no one can fucking like
that's when it comes into play with like our industry. That guy, when he's like that, he should have a pilot car.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. Like I don't just get pissed off at.
So then the pilot car should be dropped back from that load and like be like back there with his yellow blinky lights on, so people know like something big's coming up. So they all like move over to the fast lane and just go
or the
fuck
truck
around.
behind it that says slow down or merge over or whatever.
Yeah.
Because if I know that like my exit's coming up 2 exits in front, I might say fuck it, because I see the blinky lights, and I go fuck it. I'll just get off now then, because I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But no, not in this case. But this shit's rare when this happens. You know what I mean?
No,
I've thought of those things. I've thought, and I also thought like maybe his tires are low. So he's got a thing pulling this way.
Those things are so
and
huge.
He's constantly trying to pull to the. I mean, I get it, dude. I'm just saying. Everybody's got a perspective in those moments.
For
and
sure.
I'm glad you did point that out because I think a lot of people don't appreciate what those drivers are doing.
Oh yeah, they don't even think about it. Because like, I mean, if you've ever just taken a truck and pulled an RV camper behind you, or I'll slim this down. I'll slim this down to you and using an SUV to pull a snowmobile trailer,
Or half the listeners who are in bands and they're trying to pull their fucking band equipment.
band trailers,
Yeah.
and you start going through a storm where there's like a little bit of wind, even not big wind. I'm just talking about 15 to 20 mile per hour wind.
Right.
You will feel it pull that trailer, and you will feel it take your vehicle and make you swerve in your lane a little bit because that's just what it does. And now
the bigger your vehicle, the more
and now amplify
it matters because you have more surface area for that same wind to press against.
Yep.
So
now all of a sudden, like
it's
you're
actually
coming up
harder the bigger vehicle you
it's
have.
tough. It's very tough. So now you're the guys that keep that lane. So that's when people in our industry hire us. Say, hey, we got something big and ugly. When we move down the interstate, we got to be protecting the public. Psh, need to use you guys to keep our guy out of trouble.
So if you had the ability to just talk to every single person on the road right now, what's one piece of advice you could give everyone who's not driving wide loads? So like just your random person, me and my wife's fucking Volkswagen or my Suburban or in the minivan, if everyone in the world was listening right now, what would you tell them?
I don't know. Like, just be respectful for what you're seeing coming up, and just just don't underthink it and don't overthink it. Just if somebody's telling you to stop or slow down or move over, or you see lights, you should move over. Just move over.
Or if they don't have those escorts, if they don't have the pilot cars like what you do,
there'll always be blinky lights. You should just move over and give them room because you don't know what that thing's got going on with it.
Right.
It's got blinky lights for a reason. It's telling you that this thing is big and ugly.
Right. That's a good point, man. That shit gets dangerous real fast.
Oh yeah, man, that's big, massive equipment. Like if anything bad happens with that thing and that thing tips over, or just anything weird happens, like they catch a patch of ice in the winter conditions.
How many variables are involved with that? So tires, right? So
it's insane.
I mean, you've got two tires on each.
On
tires,
each
side
brakes,
of each axle, and multiple axles.
Yep.
So you've got 16, 18 tires. Sometimes you're talking about how that load is strapped down. You're talking about wind direction, wind speed, the conditions of the road.
Yep.
I mean, how many? Seriously, like I'm being genuine about.
No,
this.
for sure.
I'm not patronizing you.
Nope.
Like that is
so many variables. There's so many different things.
I mean, in any one of those things.
Yep.
Just like that.
Yeah,
goes
just
wrong,
like anything goes wrong, just can be a nightmare for a lot of people.
Dude, I remember a few years ago, a fucking big rig tipped over, taking that turn around 35W downtown.
Yeah.
And fell on another vehicle. And fucking like, yeah, man, I don't ever drive on the outside edge of a turn near a semi.
No, you don't want to. No, you don't want to be.
So if we're going around a left bend and I'm in the right lane and he's in the middle lane,
yeah, I
slow down, switch lanes, or speed up, switch lanes, and get on the inside of him, and then speed up again.
Yeah, get out of there.
So I could be perceived as being an asshole driver by that trucker in that situation, but I'm going no.
I don't want any of this.
I was just driving on the freeway the other day, like blown away. Like I get a little nervous sometimes taking some of these banks in the winter at 50, 60 miles an hour as these freeways do these turns.
Yep.
I get a little nervous. I do not understand how some of these truckers have the confidence in something that tall and top heavy to take that same turn at 50, 60 miles an hour. Like they're either driving some real top-notch equipment or they've got some balls. I don't know what's going on, man, but like
I did one this morning from Monticello to Independence, Minnesota. A pilot car run, and there was like a slight snowstorm this morning. I wouldn't call it a snowstorm, just a dusting. But man, the roads were icy as fuck this morning. I don't know if you got out and drove it all this morning, but it was really bad out there. Super icy, like accidents all over the place. And we picked this guy up, and they wanted delivery. They still wanted delivery with it, so we were rolling. And man, we went down the interstate, and we just really shut down all the roads, all the lanes. We just kind of left everything shut down behind us, and just kind of took up the whole road. Went down there to make sure no accidents happened. But
And just so people understand, if they're confused, you do the pilot car, so you're not actually doing the truck. You're not.
Yep, I'm just a little car in the back with the yellow blinking lights, controlling the traffic.
And even you're saying
Probably the guy
it was
that
a little
annoys you.
sketch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
God, I wonder what that truck driver felt.
Yeah.
You know, the guy carrying that load. Because
Oh,
here's
yeah.
the thing is like,
No,
now,
we were going around corners, and he's literally when we were going around corners, he's like, shit. He's like, I am literally
you're
sliding.
communicating with him?
Oh yeah, we have CBs in our cars. The communication, like I have one in my car. He's got one in his truck. We talk on the CB radios. Literally, as we're going around the corner, he's like, "Shit, you guys, I am sliding around this corner. This is pure ice. I'm just sliding. He's like, just keep all that traffic behind me. So I will literally like split the lanes on a 2-lane road. We were going. We got off on Highway 12 in Minnetonka, RAF 494, and we took 12 west, and it's like a 2-lane road coming in each direction, so 4 lanes total. And literally, he's just like, yeah, just split the lane and just keep all the traffic behind me because I am just sliding around
When
the corner.
you take
This is
exits-
16 axle trailer, so 16 axles, so about 150 feet long. Pretty long.
So
Pretty long.
64 wheels.
Yeah, 16 axles. So yeah, you just tripled up. So there's 2 on each one. Yeah, so there's a lot of wheels.
64.
Yeah,
Because you have 2 wheels on each side.
2 wheels on each one. Yep. 16,
So
32,
32
64.
axles.
Yeah, so it'd be 64 on the trailer.
64 wheeler.
Yep.
A 64 wheeler.
Yeah, so it's 150 feet long. It's gonna have a Jeep on the back that is on its own. It'll kind of just turn on its own. We call it a stinger, and its wheels just kind of turn on its own. As the rest of the trailer starts going around the corner, the stinger will turn its wheels to match what's going on up in the front.
Oh, like
And
those
push.
fucking crazy buses.
Yeah. Yep. And it'll kind of help that trailer go around the corner a little smoother and easier, make it
That's
easier for it.
fascinating, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff.
I want to see. I'm blown away by that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like next time you come on, we'll dive into some of that nerdy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, for sure.
Like that's the beautiful part about doing the podcast is the first time you come on,
you kind of tell them about yourself. The next time you come on, you just kind of talk about what's going on and
Yeah.
everything current, and then just kind of go from there.
and we don't have to be prepared.
No, we weren't prepared for this one. We just got on here and just did our thing.
I'm never prepared for these.
You're the boss, man. You're the boss.
Well, and I don't want to do a TV show.
That's true. Nobody would want a TV show. That's what's fun in that. Spontaneous is more fun than a TV show. I think.
100%. And
that's why everybody likes reality TV right now.
And that's really the point of the podcast. And it's funny because a lot of people have watched that Ezra podcast with the Vikings player.
Yeah. How many people watch that one?
Well, it's got like 80, 90 views or some shit like that.
What's the most viewed one that you have?
Wheeler has taken the top spot at. He's almost 400.
400. That's a big one.
And dude, okay, let's talk about this for a second.
That's interesting. Let's
talk about this for a second. So, I am disappointed that none of my videos are even over 1,000 yet. Right? Naturally,
Really?
right? Think about it, right?
Yeah.
Because like in the real world, you start thinking about things and you're like 300-400 views. And
I
don't get me wrong,
thought those views are interesting. The first time I was on here, I kept checking back to see what the views were at, and I was like, "Oh, it's over 100 now." I was like, "Oh, it's 120." It was 130. So it finished like around the last time I checked, it was like 140 something.
Right.
So
Your
it's pretty cool.
your video did very well, especially on a channel as small as mine was.
Yeah,
at
it was
that
very
time.
early in your incarnation at that point.
And the channel's much bigger now, like quadruple the size it was when you were on, but still very small. So part of me is disappointed by that until my little brother called me. So to put this in context, my little brother is 16 years younger than me. So he's 20 years old. And he called me and he goes, "Holy shit, dude. I looked at your channel. I'm genuinely impressed." And I was like, "Thanks, man." Blah. I gave him the spiel, been working hard, just grinding away. And he's like, "No, listen, dude." He goes, "I don't think you understand people's attention spans." He goes, "Even me, when I look at a video that's more than 6 or 8 minutes long, I'm like, I don't have time for that."
Yeah, for sure. A lot of
He goes-
people are at that.
He goes, "You're doing 3-hour videos. I have no ability to understand how you're able to get this many views, not being Joe Rogan, with something this long."
Yeah,
And
that's pretty cool.
he went on and on and on, and I was like, "Fuck, man, thank you," because I kind of needed that, Because it's tough starting a podcast when you're not already a celebrity.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I have some mini baby bitch fake celebrity because I know a lot of people. I paid a lot of dues in the music industry, and I have a lot of friends. A lot of friends, man.
Yeah.
But I'm not famous.
Right, for sure.
Outside of like 2005 to 2009 in the Midwest, no one has any idea who I am, dude. So that combined with the fact that I'm doing a 3-hour long form Joe Rogan style podcast, I'm basically starting the death metal version of podcasts.
Right.
The
for sure.
hardest thing in the world to market.
Yep.
Like, it's the only reason what's her name's band is successful is because she's Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh, yeah. Will Smith's chick. Yeah. Oh, fuck. What's that band's name?
Do you get my point, though? I don't even know her band name.
Yeah, I don't even know the band name.
I just know she's in it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're not even good.
Like, and same thing for Duratio. Like,
That's
same
so
thing
funny.
for my old bands. When we do music that heavy, we are automatically niching ourselves down from the main audience. You see what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm.
It automatically makes it harder. As soon as you do a 3-hour long form podcast, you're automatically putting yourself in the hardest market.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I do this to myself over and over again. I always pick the hardest things to fucking tackle. No, I was never in a death metal band for anybody that's listening. But
Not there's anything wrong with that.
but I did try.
There are some death metal bands that are fucking awesome.
No,
Suffocation.
and some of them actually make really good money, like Cannibal Corpse.
Cannibal Corpse. They make good money. Morbid Angel. Suffocation. A couple of my favorites there.
Cradle of Filth's more black metal,
That's black metal.
but they're still
That's
so
commercialized
heavy.
black.
But they're so heavy though that they're in the same level of non-mainstream.
I have trouble calling them heavy. I just call them fast.
But either way is what I'm really getting at, though. They're so not mainstream.
That's
They've
true.
niched themselves down. And honestly, most people that like black metal like some death metal and vice versa. It's not as divided as like metal versus hardcore. There's also more there's more furious below. There's more furious below my 12-pack of hell. Do you see that? Do you see that 12-pack there? There's more furious below that. Will you throw a couple more in the fridge?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it got weird when you brought a 12-pack of the... No one does that. No one brings a 12-pack of the same beer I already have.
No, well, I love Surly, and yeah, the liquor. That was on sale.
You know what's even more funny, though, dude, is that I bought a sampler pack of Surly, and it had Furious and Hell and 2 other ones in it. And then we dog sit for all the people that take one of our puppies.
Yeah.
So my dogs had 21 pups.
Holy shit.
And when those people, 3 litters, but yeah, when those people go on vacations, we house sit for them. You can go pee. You'll probably still be able to hear me.
Keep talking.
So when those people go on vacations, we house sit those same dogs. Or we babysit. So they drop their dogs off. Well, one of the owners brought back beer for me as a gift and some whiskey for my wife as a gift. And it was hilarious because literally I bought this sampler pack that was full of Surly and Hell and 2 other things. She brought me a 12-pack of Surly Hell and a 12-pack of Surly Furious. And then you show up with another 12-pack of Surly Hell. So we've been on like a 6-day run of drinking Surly Hell. Whether you like it or not, that's what we got. That's what everybody's brought lately. And I wonder if that's because everything involved with Surly Hell is on sale. You know what I mean?
I've seen it.
He said, you guys can't hear him, but I can. He said he's seen it on sale at the liquor stores where he lives. That makes sense to me, though, dude, because I think the sampler pack was even on sale. And that's probably why she ended up buying me a sampler pack as well. Yeah, see, I'm so I'm coming through your mic as well. I got to turn your mic down just a touch.
Mic check. So what's it all about?
Yeah, I got to turn yours down just a touch. There we go.
We're back.
Yeah, as long as you just stay super close to it, to
We're
where
back to fully rocking.
you can almost feel it touching your shit.
So I just learned out tonight that when you talk in the mic, the video switches to you. I did not know this before.
Correct.
You know, that thing looks like an old PlayStation camera.
You know what's funny is last time you were on, this wasn't a thing.
The camera? Or the switching back
The
and forth?
switching.
Yeah, 'cause
I had to
remember
manually do
you
this.
had to manually do
and
it.
look,
That's why I was pointing earlier.
look though.
That's why I was pointing earlier. I don't know.
But
if you
look
were
at my
caught on.
controller.
Look at that.
No, look.
What is it? I don't even know what that is. It's just moving.
It's-
Look at that. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Those are the buttons I was pressing.
Man.
So last time you were here,
tell
I
you
had to
what.
manually do that. I figured out how to make this fucker work for me.
I tell you what, Jared, you're on the rise, brother.
Thank you, brother. Cheers. I'm having a blast, man. Thanks for coming back down and doing this.
Oh, yeah. Always fun.
And that's the weirdest part with these podcasts is like, again, perfect. Look at what time it is. Now we've been going for a little over 2 hours. I feel like we're just now getting into the best part of the podcast.
Is it 420?
220.
Oh, it's 220.
Dude, I need them to legalize weed.
It's going to happen.
I wanna be able to smoke weed
So, you know, South Dakota got legalized.
without fear. Did you hear that judge just shut that shit down?
What?
Yeah.
No
You
way.
haven't heard this?
No, I didn't hear that.
Swear to God. A judge in the state, I think it's district court, but it could be the state Supreme Court. I don't know. Some fucking judge, some woman literally vetoed the bill. Like, the people voted for it in referendum, and a single judge was like, nah.
So I have
Literally. I swear to God.
That's nuts.
That's it. One judge.
So how does that happen? So, like, I mean, you literally
Tyranny. That's how that fucking happens, Shawn. I'm sorry, dude.
So I mean, you literally you have people that like vote something into effect. So the populace wants this
By
And
referendum.
One single judge that nobody's probably ever fucking heard of
And just in case anybody's
has
curious,
got the power to shut that shit down.
and just in case anybody's curious, because we do have international listeners, we are not talking about the way normal politics works, which means, here's what I'm not talking about. We elect a bunch of people, and they introduce legislation, and it passes by other politicians. No. In South Dakota, this state within our country, they put it on the ballot. So when you're voting for governor, when you're voting for your other politicians, you also say on this ballot, should weed be legal? Every state in our country, when the people by referendum, that's what referendum means, on the ballot say yes, legalize. Every state has honored that. South Dakota shows up like, nah.
Why even put it on the ballot? Why even do it? What's the
Like,
point?
she does not have the authority to actually do this. Because here's the thing is, like, I don't give a fuck what the law says. When the people say so, you listen. You are a public servant. It is
Absolutely.
your job, and
Absolutely.
I mentioned this earlier with the Florida bitch.
Yep.
It is your job to exact the will of the people. This is America, bitch. Like, I don't care if you're a judge or not. This isn't a fucking jury. This isn't a trial. This is not a bill that was passed that is potentially unconstitutional.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
That's the only reason things go to the courts. Oh,
Yep.
you passed this bill. This bill is potentially unconstitutional. It's being challenged, and it has to go to the courts.
You're right.
That's not what we're talking about.
No.
We're talking about a law that was proposed and voted on referendum by the people, and one judge who has allegedly enough power, which I would disagree. She's like, nah.
Man, she's just screwing her whole state. You know how much money it's going to cost them? You know how much money that state will make from off that stuff? It's insane.
Do you remember when I had to turn your mic down because I was blasting through it as well?
Yeah, it seems a little quieter now. That's
Yeah.
all right.
But you can turn that up a little bit if you want.
Nah, that's all good. I generally talk at a lighter volume. I'm not
you
a
know what
loud-
else I could try? Hold on.
Dum dum dum. Ooh, I got the magic trick.
How's that?
Sounds amazing. Sounds beautiful.
Did it get better though? I don't think it got louder.
I think it's all pretty much the same, really.
Hopefully it EQs at the end of the day for them, so they don't really notice a difference. But it's weird. We everything's really quiet in our.
Who else we
headphones.
all got out there in the world? Is there, how many? What do we got here? We got.
Mostly just Shawn commenting. There's a few people watching though.
That's
We've
awesome.
had 30 people jump in and hang out with us.
That's awesome.
We're not exactly fucking breaking the internet here, but that's the point of the podcast.
No, it's
just
point of the
hanging
podcast.
out,
It's
man.
awesome. No, it's awesome. Good times. I enjoy it.
And that's one of my big focuses too. Is like I have people on that I want to have on. I'm not chasing viewers. I'm not chasing ratings. I'm not chasing subs. I'm not only having people on that I think are going to get me more subs. I'm having whoever the fuck I want when I want.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
just methodically plot it out so I try not to have like 6 death metal musicians on in a row.
No, yeah.
That's really the about, because I've talked about that. Like when I did first start the podcast, those first 20, 30 episodes.
Yeah, it's all metal musicians.
No,
Well, for the most part.
that was the first version. I'm saying this version.
Oh, okay.
The first 30 episodes, those were methodically planned to make sure, like, okay, I had a comedian on. Let me get a rock musician on. Okay,
Gotcha.
let me get a guy who's not a musician. Let me get a guy who's a whatever. Now, it's more just like, let me just make sure I don't have basically the same person on 6 times in a row.
Yeah, for sure.
It's about as far as I go with it now.
Yeah.
It's more about just making sure that I'm still honoring my original idea, which is I want to talk to cool people who've done cool shit or are doing cool shit. Period.
It was interesting is like seeing everybody's like different backgrounds, histories, and stories. You know, it's all interesting stuff, man. I find that stuff interesting.
I do too. That's why I ask those questions, you know?
Everybody's got a backstory.
Yeah, and the best part about this is that I'm just part of a new podcast community that's brewing and building right now in Minneapolis. And I'm just doing a version of a podcast.
Yeah.
Whereas you got John Wheeler with the Alchemical Cocktail Lounge. He was from originally Screaming Monkey Boner, which changed to Screaming Mechanical Brain. And then he has another band, I think it's My Zero. And then he was in Blue Felix. He ghost-writed a bunch of songs. Well, he started a YouTube channel called the Alchemical Cocktail Lounge where he has a podcast. He's got like 2 or 3 different things going on. It's kind of a TV network almost. It's kind of brilliant. And then now that Chili's back doing Ritual Madness, now he's rocking and rolling doing that deal. And then our boy Muffin, Andy Oltmans, from every band ever in Minneapolis, he's rocking and rolling. That dude's already got 800 subs. When he came on my podcast, he had 60 subs.
When was this?
Somewhere around when you came on.
Okay. Wow. So he went off like a firecracker, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, and actually, I think I already had 100 subs. I think I had just gotten to 100 subs, and then I had him on because I vaguely remember having him on and being like, "Yeah, let's get him to 100 subs," and he came back on, or he didn't come back. I'm sorry. After he was on, I think he got like 4 or 5 or 6 from coming on my podcast, which is like cool. It's significant. They probably actually watch his shit.
Yeah.
And then he went on and got like 800 subs.
Man.
Just while the rest of us are still slowly grinding and plodding away. I'm complimenting Andy. I'm not talking shit about the rest of us.
Yeah.
But
who did he have on that shot him
he
up?
doesn't even do that style. He doesn't even do a podcast. He just has a YouTube channel called Thrash Metal Studio. Which, by the way, let any listeners or viewers go to my YouTube channel and just go to the bottom of the page, and he's a featured channel, Thrash Metal Studio. We're all trying to get to 1,000 so we can monetize and get paid directly from.
So
YouTube.
his is slightly different. So he's on a YouTube channel.
Yeah, which is what I'm also doing, and that's where I host the video side of the podcast. And he just does it's like him. It's just like him sitting there reviewing equipment, doing music stuff,
Okay.
getting into guitars,
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
bands.
But yeah, so man,
But he does do a live stream where you can
For sure.
comment on, I think it's Wednesday nights at 9 p.m.
I find all this stuff interesting because like you can now like you're reviewing something, so now you can tag that something that you're reviewing in the headline, whatnot, and you could maybe potentially pull people in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
You-
it's
I mean,
not
just-
it's not surprising that he's growing faster than me. Like I said, I picked the death metal of podcasts.
Yes, as you said earlier.
I picked this battle.
That's all
I'm
right,
not
though, man.
complaining.
You're having a good time doing it. It's awesome.
I love it.
Cheers,
it's
brother.
great.
Cheers.
Everybody else has to worry about editing. Everybody has to worry about, oh, what am I going to make my next video about? Oh, is my next video going to be interesting? All I have to give a fuck about is, am I going to want to hang out with this person for 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah, yeah.
Even if we only do a 2-hour podcast, there's still prep time and there's still a little bit of time after the podcast. So no matter how long we're on air,
Be like
it's a
3 hours.
minimum of about 3-4 hours that I hang out with a person, usually.
Yeah.
That's all I have to worry about.
I can see why you say some of them might get boring.
Yeah. And
I can
it's
see what you're
not
saying.
because of the person.
No, it's not because of the person. You just might not be able to connect with them on that
on that
level.
night.
Yeah,
It's
or-
all about
or
that night.
Even, I mean, you might not have so much in common that like when you guys aren't talking on the mics, like other than that, you like might not be communicate on any level whatsoever.
The weirdest thing is like a guy will come down like you did, right? We'll hang out for a few minutes. And sometimes, like tonight, we didn't really talk too much before the podcast because we talk enough often. And I was just trying to get that shit finished.
Yep.
Right? I was
Yep.
like, just let me get my fucking screenshot.
Yep. Yeah,
And I
the
was like, and
screenshot
then we
was very
can hang
important.
out.
The screenshot was very important.
Which always is. You know, we got to get that thumbnail right.
Gotta be looking good.
But usually it's the opposite, where guys are really cool and they're hanging out and it's a great time. And then we put the cans on, we got the mics on, they stiffen up a little bit, but then I'm like, no, we're not recording yet. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And then everything's fine. And then as soon as they know we're live, they tighten up. And then, like I said, again, that's half the reason we drink on the podcast is to keep people loose.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who, as soon as that fucking thing goes live, nothing changes. No, I'm this exact same person. when we're just hanging out as
you
on
get
this
used
podcast.
to it all the time. Man, some of these people who come on here might not ever be used to ever having a mic in their hand.
Exactly. Or they're fine with that, but they're nervous that people are watching live. Like they were cool with doing a pre-recorded one, and they never really understood that this is truly live, like
Yep.
streamed.
Yep.
And they get nervous, which
Yep.
is fine. I'm not criticizing you guys for it. I'm not mocking anyone.
Hell no, man. It's part of the fun of
But
it.
that's all I have to worry about is
Right.
that. Uh-oh.
That's not good.
She was kind of hot looking.
That's my wife.
Is that your wife?
That's my wife. Yeah.
Outkicked your coverage on that one, didn't you, bud?
Yeah. And she's like 11 years younger than me. She's 29.
You really outkicked your coverage on that one, bud. That's one of my favorite things to say when some dude has a smoking hot girlfriend or wife. You go, outkicked your coverage on that one, huh?
I'll text her here. I'm gonna say, you're
Is
on
she
the-
watching?
Uh,
Probably not. She has a life.
yeah, that's true. You're on the podcast, Miss Popular.
That's funny. Well, listen, man, we've been going pretty close to 3 hours. How much longer you want to go?
I would go for a little longer here. I still got a full beer.
Oh, 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
I swear to God, I
we'll
just
talk a
looked
little
at it. I thought I looked at it a half hour ago and it said 2:20. I must have misread it. Fuck, I had a question for you. I just had a question. Your wife distracted us.
Yeah. Damn woman. That'll happen.
You got to get 2 cell phones.
A
One
burner,
that
a
you're-
burner phone.
One that your employees can contact you at in case of an emergency when you're on the podcast, and then another cell phone you can shut off where no
The
one else
podcast
can
one.
bug you.
There you go. There you go. Not a bad idea.
I did have a question for you, and I totally forgot what it was.
Man,
Totally slipped my mind. Son of a bitch.
I tell you what. In closing, though, man, I hope music venues are back open. We got some awesome music to show the world. We're ready to unveil some awesome shit. I hope music venues are open this summer.
I'm glad you're so confident about it. I've been dealing with my tunes so long that no matter how much I like them, I'm afraid that others won't at this point because they've been just sitting there so long.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not even sure if it's good anymore.
It's still gonna be good, brother. It's still gonna be good.
You've
You
heard it.
Yeah, it sounded good to me. It sounded good to me on the recording. Now, can you guys pull all that off live? And
I
stuff
mean,
like that?
I can.
Well, yeah, I know you just gotta get your boys together and make sure you guys can do it.
I know Jeremy can as
You
a singer. I know Dalton can.
You guys ready to play some shows this summer?
I could play shows tomorrow.
Well, yeah,
I
your
could play
boys-
this entire set front to back tomorrow without blinking.
Yeah.
Maybe not tomorrow. Give me 3 days. I need
Right.
3 days. I need 72 hours.
We're ready to play some shows, man. I
But
can't
for
wait
real,
the music venues to be
For real,
open.
I swear to God, all I need is 72 hours, and I could play the entire set front to back.
Yep.
3 days. So what is it, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
If you had a show Friday or Saturday
You-
and
you
you needed
got
to
it.
fill in, I could do it.
you could do it, but you need other people.
I
to
don't
help
think
out.
the rest of the band's ready.
Yeah,
And
for
that's out of my control because of COVID. Because we don't rehearse 3 times a week from 6 to 9 p.m. like we're fucking supposed to.
Yeah.
Or even
You're playing guitar in this group, right?
correct. For the
Yeah.
first time ever, I will actually play guitar
is
on stage.
the drummer guy, is he keeping his shit in check?
Well, we just possibly acquired a drummer who's willing to contribute on some level, meaning he may only be tracking. He is not committed to playing live.
Gotcha.
The drummer situation in this band is a very ambiguous situation because no one is committed full time like they have on lead guitar and vocals.
Brother, it's hard to find drummers. You're gonna end up behind that kit.
No, I can't. Like that will literally
you
defy the reason I started the band because I played drums on stage. I've sang on stage.
Yeah.
I've never, and guitar is my original instrument.
maybe you
the
just
only
need-
reason I did this was to play guitar on stage.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the purpose of this project. I was like, I can't believe I've never done that. I'm going to start a band where I actually play guitar on stage.
No, I like that. I like that idea and concept. Man, do it.
It was
Yes.
so simple and
Yes.
so stupid.
No, that's awesome though. I
I'm
mean,
not trying
just-
to like change the world. I
No,
was like,
no,
I've
no,
never
you
played
just-
guitar on stage.
This is something I
should
want to
that.
do. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm aiming to do. That's awesome.
And it
I
was
love
my
that.
first instrument. Like that was the irony. Because I was like, I started at 12 on guitar, and then by the time I stepped on stage for the first time, I was singing. Like a real stage, not high school shit.
I'm looking forward to some shows. Can't wait for some shows, brother.
Me too, man. I'm telling you, like it's eating at me. It really is.
It's time for a comeback of live music.
It's
live
getting,
music.
It's
Bring
getting to me, dude.
Yep.
And I look forward to playing guitar or drums again on stage, not singing.
I'm looking forward to hearing it. I want to see it.
I never want to sing on stage again. It's horrible. It's not even enjoyable. You need some young kid who likes the attention of being a lead singer.
For sure, there's some of that. I just like singing. I don't need any attention. I don't need attention. I like just putting arrangements together and just not, even though I'm just like the screamer type, I like to just put arrangements together, like creative arrangements.
I hate it. I like doing it with all the instruments except vocals.
To vocals.
It's just so much work. It's so much effort, even on stage. Like,
Yep,
because
for
the
sure.
way I perform is I run around on stage.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm obsessed with
That's all
all
part
the
of it.
things, dude, and like
Yep.
the
You gotta
physical stamina that
motivate
comes
the
in.
crowd.
And then taking care of your voice and like your diet and fuck that, dude.
Oh yeah. I find myself getting in the gym, man. Yeah, I find myself. I go in the gym 4 or 5 times a week right now. Actually, I've dropped a lot of weight from the last time, but you know what? You probably wouldn't even tell it because I've been lifting weights and I've been turning it into like muscle. Yeah, I'm becoming
Yeah.
Glenn Danzig over here, brother.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I'll gain and lose 15 pounds and no one can tell because it changes from muscle to fat. Like right now, I'm in my winter fat mode, right? I have a hard time putting on any muscle,
Really?
like for real.
No shit.
I think they call that an endomorph or an ectomorph. It's one of those two. Somebody can correct me in chat. My cousin has it too. And it can be done. But it's really, really hard for me to put on muscle.
Yeah.
I just consume. And it's very hard for me to get enough energy into my body at the rate that I'm burning it. So I
Yep.
just stay skinny.
Yep.
Some would be like, "Oh, that's really great." And it's like, "Yeah, until you're starving in the middle of the winter. Your fat ass can make it 3 months and survive. I'm going to die within 8 days."
That's cool. Yeah.
You know, they say the
Need a little
average
more
human
weight, yep.
the average human can go 30 days without food. Yeah, not me. 8 days is what I got, and then I'm dead. I start hallucinating after 12 hours.
Oh man, that's
Like,
awesome.
It is not envious to be me. I would much rather be you right now, where you're like, "Yeah, dude, I'm fucking, yeah." Like you guys, and people respect you and fear you a little bit. When you're my size, no one. That's the only advantage I have is no one ever thinks I can fight.
When you're the little guy.
Yeah, when you're my size, I'm not even the little guy.
No.
But when people look at me, they like laugh and they're like, "I would break you like a twig." And then literally
Why
I've
would-
gotten in actual fights and I've knocked dudes out, like big dudes.
Yeah.
And then other dudes are on there and they're like, motherfucker. And that's my whole life. I've always been the skinny underdog, right?
For sure.
Where I get my ass kicked is dudes that are shorter than me and stocky. And now they're the little guy. So all my skills have suddenly become my weakness. So when little dudes talk shit,
These
I'm
guys
like,
just creep up on
when
you.
little dudes talk shit, I'm like, hey man, listen, can I buy you a beer, bro? Because I ain't trying to do this tonight.
Man,
for real.
yep.
If you're a couple inches shorter than me and you're bigger than me, I'm out. I'm like, I'm not doing this with this guy. It's the big guys who try to intimidate me and bully me in my past. Those are the guys where like, listen, motherfucker, this ain't happening tonight.
Right?
And then I usually win those fights too. That's the crazy thing. Because, I mean, fuck, 30 years of getting in fights with people bigger, taller, and stronger than you, you learn to build a certain skill set.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as I run into somebody who's 3 inches shorter than me and fucking they have 40 pounds of muscle on me, I'm like, yeah, let's not
Game
fight
over.
let's not fight the bulldog.
Right?
Like the Joe Rogan type.
Yep. Yep.
That size, that build,
Yep.
he's like literally, I think 5'7" to 5'9". Like he's 3 to 5 inches shorter than me. And he weighs more than me. I ain't fucking with a guy like that.
No,
I
no.
learned that lesson, dude, about 10, 15 years ago. There's different types of people. Big dudes, even if you're 240, 280, like that shit don't intimidate me, man. Like I have such a set of skills for dudes like that. But if you're Joe Rogan size, I'm like, I got nothing. Not even his skill set. His
Yeah, just-
size.
Yeah, because it's just the size differential.
nothing-
It's a change of dynamic.
By the time I even reach my arm back to swing, your face is already in my chest, coming up below my chin and swinging into my temples. I can't even get my hands inside to fucking break you back out and open you back up to even create distance.
Right?
Like, and it happens like this, dude. I'm telling, it happens so fast with those little guys. They're bulldogs, dude. They're
Right.
like little pit bulls.
Right? No,
Don't
for sure.
fuck with those guys, man. They're built like tiny tanks. Those guys, man, I'm telling you, it happened once in my early 20s, and I was like, oh, I get that point. Like, it would take me years to build a skill set to fight that body type.
I believe it.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I believe it, man. I believe it, brother. For sure.
I look good in my late 30s. I look fit. But the whole point of this rant is don't envy my body type. I don't. It carries very little advantages. And now that I'm married, like one of the biggest ones is I looked young. I got a lot of puss. You know what I mean? I'm married now. So advantage gone. I get one vagina. That's it. It doesn't even help anymore.
No.
Oh, it's fucking
Advantage
funny.
gone.
That's all I got, man. That's all I got. All I have is the fact that I can't really gain a lot of weight. But when I do, it's all in my belly.
Well, that's most guys, man. Pretty much all of our friends.
Yeah,
That's
but
pretty much
like
everybody.
most, you guys also gain it in your shoulders and your arms and your chest. Like,
oh man, I don't really have any. I don't, just.
you ever seen a skinny guy with a fat belly? It's hilarious.
Well, no, that
You
would,
look
I mean,
like
that
the guy
would be
from
funny.
that fucking.
You look goofy. That person would look
What
goofy.
was
as
that?
fuck.
What was that movie that was filmed in all black and white with Jessica Alba?
Oh,
Sin City.
yeah, Sin City. God,
You remember the
that's
skinny
good.
guy, the villain, the skinny guy with the fat belly?
Yep,
That's what I look like if I gain 30 pounds.
the yellow dude.
Yeah,
He was yellow. When he died, he was like a yellow smear.
that's exactly it.
Yep.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
That's
That's
what I look like if I gain 30 or 40 pounds. It
Yep.
all goes only to the belly.
Man, I forgot how cool of a movie that was. That was cool. The second one was as good as that first one, but the first one was super, super good. I thought that was
Are you
pretty
into the
cool.
Marvel shit?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I've been reading Marvel comic books since I was like 3-4 years old, man.
You got Disney Plus.
Yeah, I get Disney Plus.
What did you think of that Mandalorian?
It was incredible. It's incredible.
Did you like the Skywalker
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
cameo? I thought it was great too.
I
The
loved
only thing is I'm surprised they didn't do just a simple recast with a younger actor.
I don't know, man. The CGI looks so fucking on point.
It depends on the resolution you watch it on. I
watched it on
the TV. It looked weird.
I'm not gonna lie.
And then I watched it on this TV, and it looked amazing. So
Not
I
gonna
was
lie.
like,
I'm not gonna lie. I watched it on an 8K television on my PS5. So that's what I watched it on.
you got
and it
that
looked-
8K, huh?
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. The 8K is pointless because even the PS5, the most fucking current fucking video game system, can't output 8K resolution to.
There's a way you can do it. I seen a guy do a video thing on it. You need a certain type.
There's something
you need
above
a
and beyond
certain-
the norm.
Yeah, you need a certain type of 8K TV that does a thing.
I got the Samsung QLED, the most current.
I'll
8K
send you
one.
the link, dude.
But I don't.
Here's the thing: the TV wasn't even on the market.
Right.
It was a beta, and I think
Okay.
it was an LG, and it's not even for sale.
Yeah, something's off the board. It's off the board.
Well, it'll get there though.
No, for sure. Oh, yeah, no. It's the technology's there. They're just not outputting it in that capability yet. But I mean, the PS5 and the television can do it.
Right.
They're just not outputting it like
It's
that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Disney Plus isn't outputting 8K. And even though the PS5 is 8K compatible and the TV is 8K compatible, like none of that's caught up yet.
Well, and then you also have to deal with refresh rate, and that's a whole other thing.
Oh, but the PS says 240 hertz.
But here's my point.
But
though.
But most people who have PS5s currently aren't even achieving what their PS5s can achieve.
And that's all cool, but let's say you got a 4K TV that's only doing 60 hertz.
Yeah, you're still behind. You're
Right.
still behind.
Right. You see what I'm
Yeah,
like?
you're still behind.
Like
you
you have to
have to
have the
have-
right setup.
You have to have the right setup. It's like home video game consoles have almost become almost like PC. You know what I'm saying? Because like people maximize their PCs. People maximize their PCs by having the right graphics chips and the right this and that and the right monitors. Like if none of those things are all absolutely on point, then they're slightly off.
Right. So the reason I brought up Marvel and then the Mandalorian thing is because when they CGI'd Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
I was surprised they didn't bring in the dude who plays Bucky Barnes.
Okay.
Because if you shave that dude down,
Nope. I know what you're talking about.
he
Yep.
looks like not a young Mark Hamill. He looks like a 30 to a 40-year-old Mark Hamill,
Yep. I can
but
see
with
it.
balls.
Yep.
Right? Like it would have been so much easier and cheaper, and you already have him under contract to just bring
It's
him
tough
in.
to
I was
put-
just shocked. I'm not complaining. I was just shocked they didn't go that route.
Did you see the episode without hearing any spoilers that Luke Skywalker is going to be there at the end?
Well, here's the thing: is
Or
like
did you catch a spoiler?
no. Well, here's the thing: is I already knew it was going to be Luke Skywalker before I saw the spoilers. Because immediately, just think of it with common sense. Okay? Serious common sense.
Yep.
With basic, not nerddom level fandom. Not nerd level fandom. Just basic Star Wars knowledge and common sense. If the last remaining Jedi that anybody really knows of, Ahsoka Tano, whatever her name is, if she's not powerful enough to train Grogu and sends these guys to a planet to basically open up a beacon to see if there's someone who is powerful enough out there, and we know the fucking timeline already from the movies, there's one answer, and it's Luke fucking Skywalker.
True.
Because you already know it's after the first three
Yeah.
and before the second three, or the last three, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. It was so easy to figure that out. It was still cool as fuck
I
to
agree.
see it. I'm just simply because I also
I didn't
knew,
catch it when I was watching the show. When I watched it, and she sent him to the temple, then I like thought about it. I was like, oh shit, he is trying to contact. When I saw him, what he was doing on top of the temple, I was like, he's trying to contact somebody who's more powerful than him to train him.
Yeah.
That's what's going on here.
There was only
I
two
didn't-
options for me. It was either a group of Jedis or Luke Skywalker.
I didn't think it was going to be Luke, man. I didn't think that they were going to do that. I didn't think that it's such an iconic character. I just
didn't think it would be Mark Hamill.
that's like where your mind goes and stuff like that. But like, I just didn't see it happening. And then like when he gets off the ship, and I didn't see a spoiler for it. I didn't see any spoiler for it. It was a total surprise for me when he got off the ship and I saw it was fucking Luke Skywalker. And when he was walking through the hood and I saw the way he was fighting, I was like, holy fucking
Well,
shit.
you do know there was no real spoilers.
That's fucking Luke.
There was never any actual real spoilers.
I didn't watch it on the first day of release. I watched it like 2 weeks later.
There was no. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I didn't watch it right away.
So I did see people that were speculating, and like some people had said it's going to be Luke, but there was no verifiable evidence.
I think that released,
to call it a leak.
That released right around Christmas, right? Right
Oh, I
before
seen
Christmas?
it the night it aired.
Yeah, so I watched it. It was after Christmas when I watched it. It was middle of January. But
I knew it was going to be Luke, or if it wasn't going to be Luke,
it was epic. And then you watched after the credits, right? And saw the stuff after the credits too, right?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
You remember it?
What was it? Remind me.
It's they go back to the original guy who was in the room for Boba Fett, who the chubby guy in the room like that.
Yeah, I did see that. Yep. Yeah.
And they go in there and they kill him.
Yeah. Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt.
Yep. And they take over his lair.
Take over his
that.
lair.
Yep.
Take over his lair.
Yep. I did see all that. Yep. I did.
Okay.
100%. And I just remember thinking, like, okay, if it's not going to be Luke Skywalker, then it's going to be a grip of Jedi. Like 9 of them are going to show up. Like, it's the only way.
Right.
Like, it just seemed like such common sense. But I brought that up because, again, I also knew the way Disney thinks. They want to create these series, these branch series, especially now that Feige is in control from Marvel
it's such a moneymaker,
and
man.
Star Wars.
Well,
they're going to do a Skywalker series. Did you know this?
It's worth way more money for them to make a prolonged series and be able to throw like little advertisements around it and stuff like that and get people to subscribe than throwing out like just like a 2-hour movie and just getting a few hits throughout the year. And
you get weeks.
Yeah, you get weeks, months, long time on it. So, it makes way more sense. And then they're not even really paying the actors that much more. They're just spitting it out per episode, and those guys are just it's crazy. It's crazy, but it makes way more sense. And people love seeing more. They get more to see. It's awesome, and we love it. We all love it.
Do you know that they're doing a Skywalker series?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So if you know that, and you know
there's
movies,
so much.
Then
awesome.
it's so obvious that that Skywalker is going to be at the end of that series, right?
Absolutely.
So my question is this: unless you're going to CGI and de-age Mark Hamill for that entire TV series, you're probably going to have to recast him with a younger guy. If that's going to be Duder from Bucky Barnes,
I don't think they're going to touch that iconic character. I think they're going to CGI it with the most money possible, make it so realistic. I don't think they're going to.
That would be incredible.
That's what I think they're going to do.
That's a new level of balls that Hollywood's never had.
Nope, I know. I totally agree. And I think that's what's going to happen. That's my feeling. I think that's such an iconic.
That'd be cool as fuck.
Iconic character that they don't want to put anybody else other than Mark Hamill in that spot. So Mark Hamill can only play an older one. Or
that'd be cool. I hope you're right, dude.
Yep.
I think
that's where we're gonna have to go with it. I think that because I think there are people who could play like, here we go. Yeah, I think there are people who could play Luke Skywalker younger and look damn close to him and be able to pull it off. But it's just such an iconic character. Here's one for Marvel. It's gonna be so hard for somebody to come in and play Wolverine after Hugh Jackman.
Well, okay.
Hugh Jackman.
I see your Wolverine, and I raise you Joker. Jack Nicholson into Heath Ledger into Joaquin Phoenix.
So Heath Ledger is still the best of the
fine,
three.
but
they're all awesome.
No one was willing to do it until Heath Ledger, and then once Heath Ledger happened, no one was willing to do it until Joaquin Phoenix.
Are you ready to see the new Jared Leto one in the new Justice League?
He's trash. Fuck him. I didn't put him on the list for a reason.
So in the new it looks cool. You see the new pictures of it?
I hate his version of the Joker. It's terrible. I'm sorry, fellow Jared. Stop playing the Joker. Just stop. Dude.
I didn't hate it.
Jared Leto is a great actor. You're a great actor. You're also a pretty badass singer.
Yeah,
30 Seconds to Mars is legit.
Legit.
Dude, stop with the Joker thing. Give it up. Move on. Give it to Joaquin Phoenix. Let him take over the character. He did better than you. Your version of the Joker is an actual clown. It's not cool. It's not scary. It's not intimidating.
So in the new Justice League one, he's not in it a lot. But in the nightmare sequence that you saw in the last Justice League one, where Batman appears in the past, or he appears in the future, where Darkseid is taken over and like all the little creatures are coming out, and he's getting his ass kicked coming out of that truck. Do you remember that nightmare sequence?
A little bit.
No. Okay.
I mean, I do.
They're extending it, and there's going to be a scene.
Oh, you're talking about the Snyder Cut?
The Snyder Cut. Yeah, the Snyder Cut. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that shit. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see
Me
it.
too.
I can't wait to see it.
Coming out soon, March.
March, dude,
Yep.
we're like a month away.
I
I
know.
am so stoked to watch that.
You been watching WandaVision?
No, I haven't watched WandaVision.
It's amazing.
So
It's amazing.
no, I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to watch it. I'm super looking forward to it. The thing with me with TV series is the way I work is I like a whole bunch of episodes to come out because I like to just binge it. When I'm ready to watch it, I don't, because I can't stand being left on a cliffhanger. I just want to watch. I will almost watch them all in like a day or two.
This one might be better to watch week to week though, because they're fucking with your head the whole time. And if you binge watch it, you're gonna get too much too fast, and there's certain things that'll make sense too quick.
Oh, so there's some things you got to think about.
Yeah, and if you binge it, there's some things you're gonna get paid off too quick where you won't appreciate the mystery because it just happens for you. But then there's other things that you'll lose because you won't be thinking about them all week. Like, what the fuck was that scene about? Like, you'll be thinking, oh, what was that scene about? And then immediately get an answer the next.
How many episodes are going to be in the first season?
9, and that's it. There's no
so
second
there's like
season.
5 out already, right?
6.
There's already
Or
6
no,
out.
5. They're
There's 5
about
out.
to do 6 this week, and they're not doing a second season. Like, a lot of these
So
Marvel
there's a
shows,
one-season show.
a lot of these Marvel shows are one season.
Okay.
One and done.
Okay.
And it's to bridge gaps, it's to fill character arcs, it's to do it's cool, man. And WandaVision,
I hear it sound really well.
dude.
So well, right?
My roommate couldn't get past the first 2 episodes,
Yeah.
and I was
But
like,
I know hear everybody's blowing their shit off the last Marvel, so.
yeah, and I'm like, dude, you really,
Yeah, I'll be right up in it.
it's one of those
Are
things.
you just a legitimate Disney Plus subscriber, or do you just have a Verizon phone?
No, I'm a Disney Plus subscriber
Okay,
now
all right.
because I'm
'Cause,
a
like-
Marvel fan. I like the movies.
No, I am
I
too.
like
I
the
am too.
TV shows. I'm
If you
super
ever
into
come
it.
over to my house, I will show you my comic book collection. It's like 90% Marvel.
That's cool as fuck. I was more of a DC fan.
It's gonna
as
blow
a
your
kid, though.
mind. I'm a DC fan too. I have a whole
I
bunch
didn't
of.
like Marvel as a
I
kid.
have so my DC comic book collection really just doesn't go past Batman and Superman. It's just those really two.
Really?
It's I have well I'm gonna say I have Justice League as well, but my collection you will see if you come to my house I have over 500 boxes of comic books in in 2 closets just stacked.
That's crazy.
And it's mostly all Marvel, but there's a massive collection of Batman, Superman, and Justice League that go back to when I was about 9,
Yeah.
or 8 or 9 years old.
That's dope.
My grandpa got me into collecting comic books. He got me to start buying X-Men and the Avengers and Batman and Superman, all that stuff when I was like 8 or 9 years old, back in like 87,
Holy
88.
shit.
And he got me into it. I'd like read the comic books with him, and like we'd like read comic books, and we got into it. And he's like, "Hey, let's go down to the comic book store see what came out this week," because comic books come out every week. So we go down there together, and we'd buy stuff. And I just kept collecting ever since then, and I've never stopped.
That's wild, dude.
I've never stopped.
That's
So here we
fucking
are.
crazy.
Here we are. I'm 40 years old, and I've been collecting comic books for 36, or we'll say 33, 34 years of my life.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That's fucking
That's a lot of
insane.
comic books.
That's cool though, dude. Because I bet you've got some sneaky ones in there that.
Oh,
are
there's a
worth
ton
money.
of sneaky ones. There's some comic books where shit happened, where people died and never came back again, and like all
I bet
kinds of
you
things.
got some sneaky money in those boxes.
There is for sure.
It's like my old baseball and football card collection. I got a
Oh.
bunch from the 60s and 70s.
You definitely got some sneaky money in that shit. Then you definitely do. You have to.
Even
You
the
have to.
ones that are beat up now. They're
No,
just so rare.
They're so rare that people want to get their hands on them.
Yep.
And that's that.
That's fucking wild, dude. WandaVision is the shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
watch. Be watching that
definitely
one.
need to
Be
watch
watching
it. And it's
What
so
time
cool.
are we approaching on this podcast here?
We're at 3 hours. You want
3
to wrap
hours?
it up?
We should probably wrap it up.
All right, dude.
Hey,
Where
in-
can people
in-
follow your shit?
In closing, you guys need to go to Derecho Band, DERECHO Band, BAND.com. DerechoBand.com. Go there, check out all kinds of updates, buy merchandise, check out all kinds of stuff. New music coming out soon. We'll be releasing an EP this summer. Live shows coming up. It'll be a lot of fun.
Super
Looking
stoked
forward
for
to
it.
it.
And they can get your merch and all that shit there too.
All that shit.
If you guys want to follow me, I don't know why you would. I don't post a lot. I'm trying to do better at it, but everything's Jared Singer Live. New website's launching soon. Maybe I'll have merch for the podcast soon. I hope. I don't fucking know.
You might
But,
as well. I mean, why not?
It's a money thing because I don't have a big enough fan base to order hundreds of T-shirts.
That's true. That makes it tougher.
So then once you start doing limited runs, And that's what you got to do on a podcast. You can't just have like an infinite number of T-shirts. You do limited runs, 20 of these, 40 of these, 100 of those.
Here you go. When music shows start coming back up, go to the live shows and set up a little booth next to the merchandise booth. Say, hey.
I ain't fucking sitting there running a merch booth. Jesus Christ.
No, you know the run.
I'm
the
not
merch
doing that. No. But I will start going and hanging out at shows. So once this
yeah.
shit starts coming back, I'll start getting back out there. It's just tough, dude.
It is
It's
tough.
just not an easy thing to do. But yeah, and follow Shawn. I put his link in the description, so you can follow him on Facebook, and then his Instagram's easier. It's just his last name and then his first name. So yeah, I'm Jared Singer Live. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that shit. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising. Thank you guys for supporting, and can't wait to do this again with you, buddy.
Absolutely,
I'll be
man.
on
We'll come
it
back
again in a
down
couple
very soon.
months, man.
Very soon.
It was
Couple
fun,
months.
brother.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. We're out.